We can live forever. Show me sister, show me brother, and we stay strong for one another. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah. Come on, come on. We could be leaders of the islands. You don't sniff petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the high space. Don't be rama-rama, messing with your brain, saying, damn it, do you understand? You don't sniff petrol from a can. You put the petrol in the car it goes. Don't be rama-rama, sniffing up your nose. Don't be rama, don't be rama-rama, don't be rama, don't be rama-rama, don't be rama, don't be rama.
Hello, chat. I'm not getting any suspicions up that there might be a secret Medicare episode. I may have smuggled him under my floorboards or something like the Telltale Heart. Instead, I just wanted to share the ABBO song with everyone because there is some news related to the ABBOs, and I've never had an opportunity to play this song on stream, oddly enough. So I figured now would be the appropriate time, and I'll get into that in a second. However, I want to get, I've listened to this song and I've always kind of liked it because it's really catchy, obviously. After all, it's made by a white man. I never noticed how like disaffected all the kids singing in it. Like anytime that you can see them singing, you can just tell like how much they absolutely do not give a fuck. They're like, yeah, don't sniff petrol from a can. And then this guy, Adam Thompson, had to go in and mix this with a kind of professional finesse. And completely save this audio and make it into something catchy, which is why it sounds so overproduced for what it is, because the performances aren't there is the issue. So the significance of the ABBO song, if you don't know, this is from an Aboriginal tribe in Australia, is that Australia, over the last week, since I didn't do a stream on Friday last week, I have had a full week to collect some news. One of the main things is that in Australia, there was a constitutional referendum to amend their constitution and add a new clause, which would give what they call a First Nations voice. And the full title is the Aboriginal First Nations, Indigenous People, and the Torres Strait people, or the Torres Strait Indigenous people. So it's three different groups: the Aborigines, the Indigenous, and then the Torres Strait. And I don't know the distinction. I just know that the Torres Strait is between Papua New Guinea and Australia, and there's like a bunch of like tribesmen on those islands, so that's what they're referring to, and they're not technically Aborigines, so they don't call them that. And I don't know what the First Nations are. I don't know how those are different. Anyways, so I kind of dug into this because I was curious about it, and from on its face, if you just tell someone what the actual text of the proposal is, it does not make sense. The proposal basically just says, should there be a informative council in the Parliament of Australia, which is comprised of Aboriginal, Indigenous, and First Nations peoples, for the purpose of advising the government. So they don't really have any power. They don't have a vote in anything. It's just that the government's like, hey, oh, so we want to dig for petrol right here, eh? And can we do that? Is there like any spooky stuff that happens there? And then the Aboriginals would be like, actually, yeah, that's super haunted by like bad ooga booga shamans and shit. So we're gonna have to, get $1 million to cleanse this area of the bad spirits. And when we get that $1 million, we can put our tribal shaman to clear the spirits. So that's like what the point of it was. The thing has failed, and I was really struggling. Like, even if it was like a thing where it's like do you want like a white people vote, like a white people council voice? They call it the voice. Do you want like a Aboriginal voice in Parliament? I'm trying to think, like, if there was a constitutional amendment to add a white voice to the government, I would probably still vote no, because I don't know what that means. It doesn't make any sense. And then someone explained it to me that in Australia, when you have it's kind of weird in parliaments. There's not usually like a two-party thing where, like in the U.S., there's like the red team and blue team, like in Team Fortress 2. There's usually a little bit more variety in those governments, but then what happens is that they still form red team and blue team anyways. So, and they're just called opposition, the majority, and then the opposition. So, but it changes just like Democrats and Republicans in the US. So in Australia, it's like every so often the progressive types get into the majority, and then they establish the First Nations, Aboriginal, and then Indigenous Voice Council. And then the conservatives take it over the next time, just like in the US, and then they dissolve it because it has no fucking purpose. And this is going on for a while, I've been told. So they eventually, the progressives that are currently holding the office are like, we should just make this a constitutional thing so they can't dissolve it every single time they take over. Teams have been scrambled, basically. So that's what the whole point was. And then they didn't, I feel like they probably might have gotten their way if they had phrased it like that. But in the way they actually phrase it, it literally just says, do you want like a voice for Indigenous, First Nations, and Aboriginal people in Parliament? And I think the answer would be no for most people because it doesn't make sense. You ask the average person, do you want to overcomplicate your government just a little bit more? And they're going to look at that and think, that sounds like a waste of taxpayer dollars. And of course, the only people who voted for it were like in the cities anyways, especially the Australian Capital Territory was I want to say the only place that had a majority yes vote, and the actual states did not have a yes vote. None of them did. So every single state rejected it in a majority. And some in I think in a 66%, yeah, there was one, Queensland rejected it with 69%. So that was a super majority in Queensland, which is often considered a very conservative area in Australia, I'm pretty sure. There was a big outrage about Queensland in the last election, if I remember correctly. And I think, if I may be honest, I think Queensland is also the area of Australia outside of the Northern Territory which has the most Aboriginals. I've known people in Australia who were in Queensland, and they have stories about how the Aboriginals like treat white people in the area. So it's not surprising to me that the people with the most exposure to Aboriginals are the people who are less kind towards them and want them to have a voice in government. So there you go. That's the story. Now, when I was listening to the song, as I mentioned, I was kind of really listening to it for the first time and kind of like marveling at how bad the vocal performances were. And then I kept getting swept up in this part right here. I'll cut the volume back on. We call the leaders Nyan Yatara land is how that I've desperately, this is the hardest word. I've looked at Polish words. Nyan Yatara land is the hardest fucking word I've ever tried to pronounce ever. So I was wondering, who are the people of Nyan Yatara land? So I looked it up, and there are a couple tribes in the Northern Territory who make up the Nyan Yatara lands. They speak a variety of dialects, and I decided I would do some research in them because I was curious about the Nyan Yatara lands. Oh, I had a skit lined up. I ruined it. Hold up. I want to read this. Noel Pearson says the elephant and mouse problem has been characterized by Indigenous affairs. The fact that Aboriginal people who make up 3% of the Australian population have extreme minority status have had no choice but to tolerate discrimination. Devastating verdict. Australia tells First Nations people, you are not special. This is effectively when Aboriginal people woke up the next day after this vote, this is what happened. Where's my hamster? I cannot find my hamster. My day is ruined. Is this one? That one shows up. Why doesn't this one shows up? There's the pumpkins. Where's my hamster? Uh-oh. This is a disaster. I'm gonna have to find this. I think I can do this again. Okay, this works. That works. Okay, we'll have to just settle with this for right now, because that's what I can do. This is very important. Okay, there we go. It's all fixed, chat. Don't worry about it. Don't lynch me. Okay, so let's do some. This is all I want to point out. I looked into the Ngayatara lands, and I noticed this, like,
working as a teacher in the Nandara lands in the Western Desert. Do you have the personal and professional qualities that are needed?
Can you teach these kids? Can you reach these kids? And I looked this up, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious about this. And then I noticed this woman, this Nandara land woman, has a beard. Well, that's curious. A little bit unfortunate. I mean, you know, menopause is rough. I guess some women get beards after menopause. And then I looked ahead, and I found this. This is Naga, which is the home in the Nyantara lands. And there's a woman who wants to give her story about her lands. To be clear, the Nyantara lands.
The landscape.
This afternoon when I was coming this way, I said to the driver, I feel homesick. When I got here, I went and got my cup of tea, went and sat down, and there in front of me was Mangura. I was really happy and thrilled, and I said, hey, that's Warutara. I felt really happy when I seen Mangura here.
That was obviously a very touchy story. So if you're only listening, this woman has a full beard. This woman has a goatee that would put a lot of men to shame. I'm thinking, okay, so 2 for 2, both videos have women who have beards. That's strange. Then I found the Nyagintara Patantatara Yankunitara Women's Council. To be clear, that is literally what it's called. I will not reattempt that, but that is what this is called. So and then I scanned through it, and I don't think any of I think there might have been one woman in this that has a beard. However, I just kind of like, I just want you to listen to her speak for a second, like when she introduces herself.
Rini Kulija.
My name is Rini Kulita and I live in Moritulu.
They speak so slowly. I have never, like, it is, you like, between even like the little kids, like, we call the leaders and the Agantara lands. You don't sniff petrol from a can. It's like really slow. And then this woman talking about her homeland, she's like, so I on the bus, and then I say I want to go to Naga to see the Agantara lands again. And when I go and I see the Mugumba, I'm like in my heart, yes, this is good. And then these people are just like, they're this. Look, There is evidence on this earth that there are different kinds of people. There are different breeds of dogs, and that's okay. There's nobody's better than anybody else, chap. If you wanna live in the desert and you wanna eat sea turtle and drink and not participate in society, I fully believe that you should be able to spend your time in the Nyantara lands doing that. And white man should fuck off, okay? In fact, I had a conversation with somebody about this, because there's a controversy in regards to how much money Aboriginal people in Australia receive. I've heard varying figures. Something like up to 40 billion is the highest I've heard, and that's Australian dollars, so keep in mind. But I've been told that Aboriginal people receive a stipend from the government, basically, for $40 billion every year. That costs the Australian taxpayers money. Aboriginals, I think, occupy, I want to say, like, it's a ridiculous number. It's like 1 in 50 Aboriginal people are incarcerated currently. I'm pretty sure 1 in 50 are presently incarcerated in Australia. It is a staggering amount of them. Like it blows the African American population crime statistics out of the water in terms of how much they spend. So it's like, and you might think like that's a burden, right? That's a burden, and it's weird. They have their own tribal system. Like their court systems are segregated. They have their own lands. They have their own laws. They have their own systems, and so on and so forth. And then they get paid $40 billion just to exist on the reservations. And people in Australia have complained about this. However, I have heard a very strong explanation to support the setup. And that is that these people that I've just showed you clearly have their own preferred way of living. They literally just want to eat sea turtle, burn kangaroos in brush fires, and eat them kind of like semi-raw, and drink. And the white man, Mr. Cook, came to Australia and inflicted upon them capitalism. So now the process of going out to their territorial waters and spearing sea turtles through the skull and eating them has overhead to it that did not previously exist. And that's really not fair to them, that they now have to pay to eat their sea turtle and burn their kangaroo. And I believe it is economically sensible to just pay them to drink and eat sea turtle. It is the most efficient, agreeable way to resolve the issue of the First Nations in Australia. You just put them in the Northern Territory, let them do whatever the fuck they want, and then occasionally, sort of like in Fortnite or Call of Duty, just drop care packages in the middle of the desert with like money and alcohol, and they will be perfectly happy forever and ever. And they will for 40,000 years, and they will never ask any questions about this arrangement. They will probably pray. They will get on their knees and pray and do chants and dances around the cargo boxes that are dropped in the middle of the desert as a gift from God. And this is an acceptable solution. This is cheaper than any other. This is cheaper than integration. I'll phrase it like this. It is cheaper to give them the firewater and the harpoons they need to spear sea turtles through the back of the head than it is to try and... You see this? You see this right here? This right here? This is expensive. This costs more than $40 billion a year. All right. This shit costs money, and it costs time that could be better spent for other things. Just give these people $100 a week and a couple shots of vodka. That's cheap. And then they can just fuck off. And literally everyone will be perfectly happy with this arrangement. I have given this a lot of thought. And I believe that what I'm trying to say here, chat, is that the people of Nyagantara land deserve reparations in their territory, and they should be left alone to act in accordance with their traditional laws. Okay, and that's how you phrase that to get that booted. Is the racist bit over yet? No. Actually, no, it's not at all, because I have much more to say about these things. There is a black guy. This black guy is very famous. He is an NFL player. His name is Antonio Brown, and he was arrested for failing to pay child support. This man, $31,000. He makes that in like a day, like unironically in a day. The Bro Bible. His last NFL game was during the 2021 season, where the Buccaneers were shocked by the NFL world by leaving midway through the Jets game shirtless. Anyways. So he's been arrested for not paying child support, and he's an NFL player. I'm just saying, you just give them a little bit of money and some alcohol and a nice reservation to carry on their traditions. And things will be fine. It's about the principle, not the principle. Oh, that's just want to make fun of that. Ubuntu did an Ubuntu pushed out an update to their operating system, as they do. Ubuntu updates pretty regularly. They update less than Debian, or more frequently than Debian, but less frequently than like Arch, which is always like bleeding edge. So of course it's open source software. They kind of vet things pretty thoroughly, but not like super thoroughly. You gotta have some trust in the community. So they released an update and then had to withdraw it. It was 2130 or 2310 that they had to withdraw. And it contained some Ukrainian localization files, which mistranslated a bunch of simple stuff about an operating system into Jews and so on and so forth. I think this is it. So here we have the translations. This is the token that it's referenced by, and this is the text that would show up. I don't speak Ukrainian, but I can't confirm this is Ukrainian. I know how to recognize it. And then of course I ran it through Google Translate. For a full installation subtitle, it says a selection of offline videos of the execution of Palestinian children. Offline warning is your pants are still off. The loading page title was suck members in this distro, which would say Ubuntu. The minimal installation title is classic gay sex. The subtitle was just the bare essentials, circumcised LDEX and Jewish pornography. The installation type TPM warning said, warning, this feature is not supported by your synagogue and cannot support updates to future versions of the Podor system. Please remove pants. Installation type TPSM selected is, it's not that difficult, just put on and take off your pants. Installation type TPM experimental ancient Hebrew encryption. Full installation type full syphilis infection. This is just nonsense. This is like a little kid, I think, did this. RST header, turn off RST, spread your buttocks and continue. Partition limit reach has all hook. Are you gone with your mount point? That sounds correct. That's just translated poorly. Too many primary partitions is too much grease on primary cavity. And the mount point must start with removing your pants. Excellent. A classic prank. A classic prank. It says, we've identified hate speech. This is hate speech now. Of a malicious contributor in some of our translations submitted as part of our third-party tool outside of the Ubuntu archive. The image has been taken down, and a new version will be available once the corrected translations have been restored. Further updates here. So it was so urgent they had to take it down immediately before allowing it to go through. So I was looking at Kick. I guess the chat is censored on Kick. Look, listen here. I'm verified. I don't even know how. I have someone emailed me and said that I'm verified. I don't know how it's occurred. But I'm a verified Kick contributor. So no Haas postings, of course. Do I want to play this? I might get banned. A dude gouges his own eyes out at Fish concert. I was there. It was kind of a buzzkill. Blood all over the concourse. Shit was fucked up. A bunch of fucked up shit went down this whole fall tour. Someone had to be slinging bath salt level research chems on a lot on this tour. Never seen so much fucked up degenerate shit during any concert over all my years as happening during the Fish fall tour this year in such few dates. People jumping off balconies to possible deaths, shitting on pit floor in the lobby floor, boomers getting naked, just waving around old withered dick and balls, and now poor dude pulling his own eyeballs out. I'm getting too old for this shit. This is a genuine original Kiwi Farms original here. Okay, let's risk it, chat. Let's, as Boss Man Jack says, let's risk it for the biscuit. Here's what I'll do. I'll hide the hamster. When the hamster comes back on, I guess if you're looking at the screen, then you already know it's over. I guess I'll just say it's over. Oh, genius. Okay, so the guy is running through the hallway. He's crawling on all fours now. A bunch of people are looking on him. He's crawled his pants are now falling down. People are trying to hold on to him. His eyes are already out of his head, I think. He's definitely bleeding from both sockets. a security woman is trying to stop him. He's completely blind, so he's just kind of like thrashing around and walking. Oh, that's a lot of blood on the pillar. This is biblical. I mean, this isn't so gory. He's just injured. And I mean, if you're squeamish, you're squeamish, but yeah, I mean, there's just a little bit of blood and implied, but yeah. I'll risk it for the biscuit because that's pretty fucked up. It's a pretty interesting Kiwi Farms original there, chat. I hope his eyes are okay. So Disney World, of course, is near and dear to my heart as a Floridian. I've been to Disney World many times. I've been to between the ages of like 9 and 18. I probably went to Disney World every single year, at least once a year, because I had family that had timeshares, I think, with Disney. So they would, anytime they wanted to take a vacation, they would take a trip down to Disney because they had extra room to spare. They would like give it to me and my mom. So we went down to Disney a lot, and I remember seeing I think Splash Mountain is down there. I can't remember too much. I think I've blotted out my entire my entire childhood. But they have tore it down recently because they're trying to rebuild it to The Princess and the Frog, which is an incredibly mediocre Disney movie. Like even some of their more recent movies are less shit than Princess. Like Princess and the Frog is not bad. It is kind of cringe that it's like another European fairy tale and they've decided to make it black. Like surely African people have fairy tales. Like oral tradition is like their entire thing. How do they not have fairy tales? But it's okay. It doesn't have any good songs is the main issue with The Princess and the Frog. I think there's that one song where the black guy, well, they're all black, but the evil black guy who's like a homosexual showing off midriff. He's like a homosexual voodoo occultist, and he says he's got friends in right places or wrong places or some shit. That song's okay. Are you ready? Yeah, that one. That song. That's good. The rest kind of suck. And the shameful thing about Are You Ready is that it's a good song, but it's like interrupted by plot exposition, so you can't even like listen to it passively. It's like it's ruined. So it's not good. As like a listening song, like a lot of old Disney songs are. Anyways, they decided to tear down Splash Mountain and make like a bayou, like bayou oriented, instead of like a cool Splash Mountain. It's supposed to be like the Boggy Bayou from Louisiana. And of course, because this is a celebration of the POC, they get a woman of melanin to do some drawings for it. And Disney Park says, first look, new mural coming to Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Oh, both of them. Check out the story of the artist behind the masterpiece and her partnership with Walt Disney Imagineering to bring it to life. It looks atrocious. This is fucking awful. It's like proper outsider art. And one of the fun things about like doing a podcast thing, because now I'm uploading again to the RSS feed in case you're wondering, is that sometimes I'm showing you something, and I know some people are only listening, so I am tasked with trying to describe what the fuck I'm showing you people in language, and that is like a free content. It's like, okay, first of all, that one right there, the white, that looks like a llama. It looks like a mixture between a llama and one of the people for the Who's from Whoville. So it's like a Who from Whoville, but his face is like mid transform. It's like a furry transform thing, is like transforming into a llama. He's halfway between like a Who from Whoville and a llama. And then there's like 80 different faces, and it's like black and yellow and white, and then bright red, like crimson red, and then bright yellow, like racist yellow, because Asian people aren't really that yellow, and then brown, and then kind of like, and everything's like so indistinct. There's no sharp colors or anything. It has nothing to do with Splash Mountain. Like, this is what it's supposed to be, and it has no tie into that whatsoever. So it's really just fucking awful. It's the worst fucking thing ever. So good job, Disney. I guess if you're planning to visit Disney World for the first time, you might as well get that out of the way as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be completely ruined before too long. As I guess the people that run Disney are just trying to liquidate it for spare parts at this point. I guess I'll just play this without context.
Hello everyone. Last week I posted a new video here on YouTube that was quickly removed by YouTube, but not before it had generated over 100,000 views and an avalanche of very positive comments. The video is called OK Groomer, and it addresses the sexualization of children by rainbow alphabet activists and makes the point that it has gone too far. Somebody at YouTube disapproved of that, so now the video is gone. However, you can still see it on Twitter, or X, the X Twitter, along with Rumble, BitChute and Gab. I'll leave all those links below. YouTube is mainstream media now, and it's great for certain types of content, but for me, I think there's very little point in posting any more videos here, as I've just had one too many removed for no good reason, and I've got no reason to believe that's going to change. So from now on, I'll be posting all my videos directly to Twitter, Rumble, BitChute and Gab. I hope to see you there. In the meantime, check out the new video if you haven't seen it.
I didn't know people see
I hope you
Gab.
like it. I think you will.
All right. Yeah, I'll play this. Fuck it. We're getting into the Troon segment here soon, so this is a good segue, halfway point.
Hello, everyone. We're told that we have to be nice to the rainbow alphabet people because they're marginalised. If only they were, our kids would be safer. How marginalised are they? Well, they're so marginalised they fly a flag of allegiance for a month every year that every institution and large corporation obediently adopts and rubs in our faces. That's how marginalised they are. A flag under which alphabet activists masquerading as teachers expose children to poisonous gender ideology, queer theory and sexual pornography in the name of education. Mentally ill men dressed as caricatures of women sexually groom children right in front of our eyes, and every paedophile in the Western world now feels as if they've won the lottery. That's how marginalised they are, and they're so far up their own fundament they can't even see how damaging this behaviour is. They are killing public support for their cause. This is such a serious blunder. These people had already been accepted as an eccentric fringe element of society, which is the best they could reasonably hope for, since they are a small eccentric minority, exasperating us with their idiot pronouns and fantasy gender nonsense. You see, when gay people won their battle for equality, many of them simply wanted to be left alone to get on with their lives in peace. So the movement was taken over by ideologues, exhibitionists and assorted perverts and freaks who adopted the fantasy concept of gender and then played the victim when people resisted having it rammed down their throat. And for this they were not only indulged but positively celebrated to a quite ridiculous degree, which unfortunately created an inflated sense of entitlement that just got the better of them, and they gave the game away by coming for the children. Now people are paying attention and everything has changed. How on earth did you think this would be okay, you demented freaks? You had everything going for you. Nobody cared about your niche sexuality. Nobody cared if you wanted to parade around in a fairy costume and call yourself the Queen of Sheba until you came for the kids. You couldn't just say, we've been accepted, we're all over the culture like a rash, hooray for us. No, that wasn't enough. You just had to come for the kids, and that is such a shame, because now what we see is not eccentricity, diversity or difference. What we see is evil, and we intend to put a stop to it because we know what's coming next if we don't. You're already trying to legitimize paedophiles by calling them minor attracted persons, as if it's simply another sexual preference and not a criminal perversion, where the damage it would do to a child's emotional development, well, that simply isn't part of the equation. After all, it's not about the children, is it? It's all about you, as it always is with you rainbow alphabet creeps. All you had to do was keep your hands off the kids. But you just couldn't do it, as that would ruin everything, since clearly that was the plan all along. Sexualize them young, pervert them young, get them away from their parents' influence so you can poison their minds before their minds have had a chance to fully form. And when parents object, you smear them as far-right extremists, conspiracy theorists. You accuse them of hate, as if you are somehow the victim here, and as if you have a perfect right to debauch and corrupt the minds of their children, which only shows how completely divorced from reality you people are. In truth, it is partly our own fault that things have been allowed to go this far, as we foolishly humoured your preposterous narcissism against our better judgment for far too long. But now that you've finally exposed yourselves, in more ways than one, yeah, thanks for that, it's time to get back in your box, you perverts. You've indulged your perversion a step too far, and you've burst your own bubble, you disgusting degenerates. You've crossed a red line, and there is no going back. Now millions of parents have seen what you are. You have violated our trust. You have lost all our sympathy for your mental illness, and your flag, you have lost our support. Your predatory behaviour has stigmatised and alienated gay people, many of whom don't want to be associated with that toxic rainbow flag anymore because of what it has come to represent. Once widely accepted as a symbol of emancipation, it's now seen as a symbol of depravity and evil. It's the groomer's flag, the paedophile's flag, and it carries as much moral weight as a swastika. So the game is up, groomer, and the party is over. Our tolerance and our indulgence that you exploited have been withdrawn. Now your ugly minority freak show can revert to its true status and its rightful place, right back in that grubby little cultural backwater you crawled out of, where you will be marginalised, permanently marginalised, and deservedly so.
You know, there used to be a time where, like, the elders were, so I can get you a link to this guy's channel in case. There you go. It's Pat Condell for those who want to know. It's kind of weird how boomers are like super maligned, and I guess kind of rightfully so, because most of the ones I know suck. But usually, like, boomers are in a unique position where they're already at the end of their lives. And theoretically, they would be in the best position possible to make sacrifice to, like, unfuck things. Because they have more resources, they have more contacts, and they have less time, you know, to like preserve on the planet. So theoretically, old people are like great suicide bombers, is what I'm trying to say. And I think part of the reason why the elderly are so despised right now is that none of them are willing to strap on the vest. Theoretically speaking, figuratively speaking, the figurative bomb belt that the elders should be putting on themselves right now to save our society is being castigated to the side so that they may live in luxury and donate all their money to black people or some shit, whatever the fuck they do when they die. Or the church. They all spend it before they die, and then they donate it to the church, and the church spends it on black people. That's usually how it goes, something like that. So, I don't know. There's a very weird generational gap that doesn't really exist or hadn't existed in prior generations. At least to the best of my knowledge, I can't really think of a time where a generational gap where people just hate the elderly existed. In part because our elderly are more abundant. It's never been such an upside down demographic where the elderly like outnumber the people in the middle. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really weird, and I don't know what to expect. People all suck, and I'm kind of I'm kind of black pilled on like yes, people are gonna like wake up and shit. I don't know. At least with the Troon stuff, it's tipping over. Like for instance with this. Though this is weird. Like look at this fucking guy. This guy went on Twitch and he live streamed that he was going to shoot up a school. He said that he was going to murder children because he was being bullied. I guess because children on Twitch were making fun of him for being a gross freak. Someone reported him to the police, and the same day they managed to hunt him down by IP address and get a warrant and search his home and arrest him for basically for plotting terrorism. But he didn't have any weapons, so they just let him walk. He has a resisting arrest charge and they've dropped everything else. So this guy literally said that he was going to murder children. There's an exact quote somewhere here. Here, among the threats Willie made included, "We're going to shoot your kids and the FBI can't stop us," leading to initial confusion about how many individuals were involved. So this guy literally said, "We're going to shoot your kids because I'm being bullied on Twitch." And then they arrested him and then immediately dropped charges. He's out on a $0 bond right now. This is in Illinois, in case you're wondering. Just for a resisting arrest charge. And his first hearing about that was like in January 2024. So they just like completely let him walk. Crazy. Very sad, chat. Here is a clip about lesbian visibility from one of the least visible lesbians on the planet.
It's an interesting experience being a trans lesbian in particular, because it's like there's a fairly large percentage of the lesbian community who doesn't think I'm a woman, first of all, and second of all, doesn't respect me as a sapphic individual in any regard either. Mm-hmm. I haven't had any personal experience. Everyone I've been around in that regard has been very supportive and open, luckily. But I do know some friends who have been like turned down or harassed because they're not what some people consider to be a real woman, mm-hmm. which is a silly term to begin with, because it's like, it's a bit more flexible than that. Yeah.
His manner, God, he has that autism mannerism that Chris does. That's a weird thing. Chris is like the archetypal autist. He has like every autistic trait imaginable. And Chris randomly breaks out the song. And I've never seen another autistic person do that, where they just like randomly start getting very sing-songy. Like he gets da, 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 da. That's like a very Chris thing. It's very strange to see. Look at that guy's shoulders. Holy fuck. He's got traps that would put a lot of bodybuilders to shame. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I like how he snubs his nose like, they might even turn us down. They might say, no, I'm not going to suck the girl dick. That's like transphobic. That's heckin' racist and shit. Here's a Troon freakout. Well, it's muted. Is there no audio for this? What kind of a Troon freak? God damn it. Oh, I might be able to play this with audio. Hold up. If we're lucky, chat. I thought I would be smart and save it, but I don't think that Firefox can play sound on WebMs. So I'll have to... Everything is the bane of my existence, chat. It's definitely not been my week. Making fun of Low Tax's ghost has haunted me. Okay, I'll try to buffer it. I'll come back if it doesn't play.
Real talk? I am here on behalf of all ignorant men, apologizing to women for not taking periods seriously. Oh my god, what is happening right now? I didn't even know trans women could get periods, and I woke up at 2 a.m. yesterday with just cramps, like, and they come and they go, but they're always there, just always uncomfortably gripping my abdomen, you know? Like, and then sometimes I feel like I'm getting stabbed, but it just never lets up. And, oh, yesterday fucking sucked. It sucked. pain meds. I'm breaking out. Like, the pain meds don't really work. And then this morning, I woke up at like 4 a.m. with back pain. Where did that come from? Like, what other ingredients of this demon cake exist? Hi, baby. This blows. And women all over the world should get like 10 extra weeks of paid time off, because this, like every month, oh my God. No, please. I need tips, and I need tricks, and I need coping mechanisms, because I can't just live like this. This fucking sucks.
I don't know.
Oh, please.
I don't usually say this. I think this is something I don't often say, chat. But I want to say that this guy has a really punchable face. There's just something about the way he emotes that's like, yeah, I want to like aggressively physically assault you to get you to stop making that face. Because it's like, it like scares me. It's like a fight or flight instinct, right? And like, I have to either kill you or get away from you as quickly as possible because my life is in danger listening to you and watching your face. It's like a crazy talk. Anyways, yeah, he's full of shit, literally full of shit, and he has poo-poo pains, and he's like, oh my God, I'm such a real woman now because I'm constipated. And he decided to put this on TikTok, apparently, from his mother's house that was built in the 1960s with popcorn ceiling. Very cool. Okay, so this does not have sound, apparently. I'll play it and we'll see. This better be good. Oh, I see. Okay, I see the troon. I see the troon. He's sneaking up on an Asian girl. Uh-oh. He realized that he's on film. I wasn't expecting that. Wait for it. Watch. Here it comes. It pans over. It's like, I've been found out. I don't know. It's just like a really, really gross troon, like male pattern baldness, wearing like a frilly dress, walking down the street, and some dude is just filming him, and then he realizes he's being filmed, and he has like a neck snap where it's like, "Wait a second, are you filming me?" Dun dun dun. Good job. Here we have a man whose head looks kind of like a Hershey's Kiss. I don't know how to describe this shape. It's a sort of like a gourd, one of those squashes that have like a round bottom, and then it's just sort of, it's a black man with a perfectly like rounded head with no definition whatsoever. And he says, 2 months HRT, holy smoke. Only 2 months in, and the changes so far. HRT is magical. I needed some motivation just by looking at myself 2 months ago. Is amazing where I'm at today. There is no distinction between the two photos. He is still fat with like a round head. To his credit, he doesn't look like a man, but he doesn't look like a man in either photo, and he doesn't really look like a human in either photo too. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this. I could use some work. And finally, Dylan Mulvaney, a guy that we've been following for a while now, since the start of his career. He says, Attitude Magazine says, Dylan Mulvaney is our Woman of the Year, supported by Virgin Atlantic. Quote, knowing that my community sees me this way and acknowledges my womanhood is all I need to keep going. Order the Attitude Awards issue now. And here we have the picture of Dylan Mulvaney that they put on the magazine cover for Attitude. And here we have the video of Dylan Mulvaney accepting his award in person.
Hello, London!
Now, you may notice that this person looks a little bit different in real life. Here we have someone who is airbrushed and face deformed by Photoshop to a point where they look kind of feminine, I guess. And here we have a demon. The best way I can describe this is a literal demon from the bowels of hell who has stumbled onto Earth, and his first act upon ripping out of the ground was scaring the shit out of a little girl coming home from like a clothing store, and she drops her bags of clothes that she just bought and ran away. and the demon, being naked and a little bit embarrassed that his weenus is hanging out, opens the bags and finds basically exactly what Taylor Swift would want to wear, that this teenage girl bought for herself. And the demon decides, I'm gonna wear this, and I'm gonna wear this wig, and I'm gonna look like Tay Tay, and I'm gonna walk around, but it's still very, very clearly a demonic entity in a dress. Does anyone, you get what I'm talking, right? I'm not talking madness. That's what it looks like. Please do a virtual exorcism. I'm not licensed by the Catholic Church to do exorcisms, unfortunately. Okay, that's the Troon segment. Take it easy, Ham. See you, catch you on the flip side, my brother. Actually, no, this is not the end of the Troon segment. This has its own little thing for some reason. Oh, I'll be clever and I'll talk about it while also clicking these buttons so that they can preload. Don't worry about what you're seeing on your screen. We'll get around to that soon. So this is a guy named Finster. He's been around for a while. He is Australian. At some point in his career, he has decided that he will do full-time cosplaying. And I think what happened is that he started doing like Omegle troll streams where he would dress up like a girl. And there's like a really, really famous one where he's like he's talking to a guy, and the guy is also in drag, and he's like I don't know, he knows that it's another cross-dresser, and they both break character, and they're doing their girl voice and shit, and it's like a very popular meme. But he is associated, he's like 2 degrees of separation from the Goon Clown shit, which I will not summarize. If you know, you know. Because he is friends with somebody named Soda Cat, and Soda Cat is a pornographer, like outright pornographer, who was caught in DM chains with Goon Clown sending him like sissy hypno, like you want to jerk off to child pornography, or you want to like expose children to pornography, like Goon hypnosis videos. And then Soda Cat replied with like a heart emoji and said, "Oh my god, so cute," or some shit. It was really weird. And of course, Finster is going to run to the defense of his friend and say that actually all the people who are talking about this are transphobes.
Do you expect Finn to read something? Soda told me to read books recently. Soda, of all people. I was like in my feels for a little bit. And Soda said, you know what would help? Like reading. Like read a book. And I went, what? Is there a book that I should read to help? And he went, just no, read. You just call me a dumbass. And I went, why? Brain plasticity. Which, fine, sure. Picture books with big donks. I read all the time. They're like so there are these little anime characters, and they have speech bubbles. One of them's always getting railed.
He's talking about Soda Cat, who's the guy who got sent the video and responded positively to it. After mentioning that he's still in contact with Soda Cat, people start giving him shit about this. Actually, he gets sent porn by Soda Cat during the stream.
Why did Soda DM me? Oh, okay, good. It wasn't normal.
And then where's the one where he complains about the transphobes? I thought it was this one right here. Oh, it was. Okay, hold up.
Finn, I am concerned about you being friends with Soda
Christ.
Cat. There was some Twitter...
People have been trying to get Finster to address the Soda Cat shit for months, and people have basically given up hope that anyone would take him to task over it, but this super chat for $3 finally got him to crack the shell and talk about his relationship with the guy who's into gooning and child porn or whatever the fuck.
Drama a while back about him being into illegal stuff. What are your thoughts? I hope you are not involved with that stuff.
Oh, good lord. I hate this. I hate this cringe. Yes, the account that posts strictly is literally named like trans people taking L's. I'm sure has absolutely no reason to invoke a friend of a friend of a friend in drama because they're trans. I'm sure that has no bias to it. I'm absolutely sure. Just go watch the Turkey Tom video, it's fine. Soda Cat allegedly did what? Didn't. I mean, it was essentially that one guy, essentially, here's the drama explained. There was a guy that is a genuine monster, who is an awful person, was in a Discord server with Soda Cat. The monster of a person got doxxed, and then like Soda and the guy had spoken like once, I think, like that. Just do it, and it was a gooning server, so some porn server. So one dude on a porn server was a damn pedophile, and then because Soda was there, and me and Soda knew each other, and me and Chris from Mr. Beast knew each other, Chris is a bad person. That's how it works. Chris is awful. They're also trans, which makes them even worse. Chris, transgender woman, essentially guilty by default. So, wait, Chris, what'd they do? Exactly, they're awful. They essentially did everything. That makes sense. Like, it's like a 5 removed thing. Leaks-based alt-right gimmick account. Yeah, right. The account is called something like they couldn't write trans people taking L's, so they wrote valid people taking L's. And the account's just like, I don't know. I don't think I ever blocked them, but I did like I don't know. There's probably some new drama involving some trans person that they don't like, or that right-wing fucking trolls don't like. I don't know. I sent them like 2 paragraphs worth of telling them they suck. Yeah, I don't want any of that smoke though, to be quite frank. Listen, it only takes one fucking insane person, and I'm done.
On a different note,
people in chat are being very nice to this creature, so I decided I would go through, and I will show you what they actually look like. Keep in mind, there's a better picture for this. This is what I could find on short notice. Just to give you an idea, this guy says that he's not a troon. He just does the cross-dressing for fun. So I want to give you an idea. This is what he looked like before, and that's what he looks like after all his surgery and professional lighting. Like, his lights are set up in a way that's very flattering. Notice that the camera angle is now pointed up. He's doing every trick in the book to try and look more feminine. He's cut off his nose. He's reduced his chin. He's reduced his, I think his cheeks are fine, but he's got it looks like he's got the buccal fat on his cheeks taken out. And he's done something with his brow ridge as well. So this guy, if you don't know, was giving literally tens of thousands of dollars by some guy to get these surgeries to look more feminine. And I think that, I don't know if this was a joke or not, but someone posted that he stopped donating before the fake tits could get added. So he like stuffs his shirt still. And this is like the most passing tranny on Twitch. And as an added bonus, he streams to kids. So his streams are all like rated PG-13. So his whole shtick is like exposing young people as young as possible to the concept of cross-dressing. And then coincidentally, by the way, he gave that very stalwart defense of Soda Cat. He was merely an innocent bystander in a very normal gooning chat where they were sharing videos about how it's hot to expose children to pornography. And this is Soda Cat and Finster are directly linked. So it's sort of like a tier. You have tier 1. You have this guy like, oh, haha, I'm just a silly boy dressed up like a girl on Twitch. Watch me play League of Legends or whatever I do while dressed as a girl. Teehee, you could look like me too if you started cross-dressing and doing HRT. Tier 2, you have Soda Cat, who is 1 degree of separation. You can easily find him through like Twitch and shit. Finster, by the way, does OnlyFans. It's not like hardcore pornography yet, but it is like not safe for work. So 1 degree of separation from the twitch.tv PG-13 Finster streaming thing is the Soda Cat, which is an outright porn account about gooning and weird fetishes and shit. 1 degree of separation from Soda Cat is the guy who's just outright addicted to child pornography and can't masturbate without it, and masturbates 8 hours a day. It is a literal slippery slope, and they know what they're doing, and it's not a joke. For instance, this is him. He is watching a video on YouTube, the lockpicking lawyer, on April Fool's Day and sometimes Valentine's Day. does joke videos where he picks a lock on something silly as opposed to actually reviewing a lock and its security mechanisms. In this one, he got a chastity cage and decided to review that. And here we have Finster watching this review for his audience.
Oh no.
I considered love locks, but picking them is really in opposition to the spirit of the day. But there is a lock out there, cruel in conception and use, that is completely antithetical to that which we celebrate on Valentine's Day. It is, of course,
losing the key
chastity.
sounds dangerous. Like ending up on the lock-picking lawyer's channel because of it.
Well-timed donor.
Cage. So I'm going to show you how to open one up. Now I realize that not all of the poor souls imprisoned by these devices will have access to lock-picking tools. So we're going to need to get creative.
I've been sent many of these. And have I ever... okay, look, I'm not saying that I've ever tried. But they're too small. Surely. Surely they're too small. That is far too small. Because your balls aren't here in this scenario, they're here. That is far too small. Isn't that like the point? I don't know.
Escaping from such an
This poor guy in chat. Sorry, hang on a minute. This poor fucker in chat just has said twice now, like copy pasting it. How do I make the quarry in? How do I make a create quarry in all the mods 8, which is a Minecraft mod?
So I noticed this coincidentally while just clicking a boot. That Finster comes out and he complains about Valid L's talking about his association with like the Goon Clown shit. And just now, Valid L's was banned. And then he came back an hour later. They got him. They almost got him. They thought that I don't get to come back though. They almost got my boy, Valid L's. They only got him for an hour though, before Elon Musk personally unbanned him and reprimanded everyone involved in it. Yeah, kids asking about Minecraft in chat. Yeah, he's it's not League of Legends. He's literally this guy reviewing cock cages on Twitch is a Minecraft Let's Player. You mean to tell me that this guy who is friends with gooners, who are friends with gooners who watch child porn, is just so coincidentally a Minecraft YouTuber, the most basic entry-level kids watching Twitch type streamer possible? It's just a coincidence. This guy, he just loves Minecraft. He likes it when you put the block on the other block and you make it into a little house, then you add a door, and then boom, creeper. Oh no, haha. Oops. I was so shocked when the creeper blew up my dirt house that my balls hurt in my cuck cage. Whoopsie kids, let me turn off my I gotta pull up this lock-picking lawyer video to uncut my balls because I just hurt them. I got a testicular torsion when that creeper blew up. Just like fucking nuts, bro. This shit also got posted to Valid L's, him seething about whatever the fuck this is. Try to be a positive Polly chat, but I'm often a negative Nancy. Quote erat demonstrandum chat. Chris Chan is back. Chris apparently, I'm not going to play through these videos. Maybe I'll play through a little bit of the next one. Chris, I guess I'll just show you what's happening to explain why I'm not going to play it. It's literally just fucking nonsense. It's literally...
Looks like Team Rock is crashing down again!
It's literally nonsense. I do appreciate the South Park reference. That's points. However, the rest is literally nonsense. He's just screaming. There's some editing though, and that's because that child/old woman that I talked about last stream, she is confirmed now to be like his partner. While he was in jail for fucking his mother, this woman reached out to him and befriended him, and now they're like an item, and she's some kind of like tard handler who's doing his editing for these videos. He came out and then published this video called Setting the Record Straight. This is just recent, right before the stream. Setting the record straight. There was never any sex involving me in 2021. So he is officially denouncing the narrative that he had sex with Barb, and at some points calls Bella Yanka the, like, quote unquote, the real sex criminal, I think is the language he used to describe Bella. I will play a couple, like a minute or two of this.
Hey everyone.
And I'm gonna be really nice, and I am going to put this audio in mono so that you can actually fucking hear in both ears, because for whatever reason the retard handler does not know how to record in stereo.
Sanchi Prime here, and right now I'm gonna set the record straight. So just so y'all know, straightforward and blunt, to the point. The reason I went to jail, the charge I was charged with, I was innocent. There never, ever, 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 ever was any sex between Barbara and I, period. I was innocent. I have a few bullet points to go through anyway. Shoot, I mean, where did we go to end up here? So obviously we got all the haters and fakers and the toxic sinners that tried to manipulate me and so much. I mean, just that was a mess of good grief right there. Why did y'all have to do that? You all really erroneously misunderstood me, period. And just, that was a whole mess up. I mean, shoot, even y'all with your freaking smut fictions, I know some of you out of the minority that are the worst. Out of the majority being actually good, okay? You out of the minority, you've written those smut fictions. You shipped me with Barbara. You shipped me with that Snorlax.
Yes, he called
and
his
I've
mother
seen
Snorlax.
worse ship. And Barbara was definitely not the perfect mother with me. There was not the perfect mother-daughter relationship there, period. Growing up, there was the times of abuse, even though there was love and caring in there and throughout. But that was a whole different kettle of fish right there. But yeah.
I'll cut it off there. I don't know. I'm not happy that he's back. I kind of hope that they would like intern him in some sort of like retard prison for the rest of his life, and I would never have to hear about him ever again. Really not pleased. Someone mentioned that he is definitely on antipsychotics, and that's true. If you look very closely, his right nostril, on your left, is bleeding. I think he has a nosebleed in both videos, and this is apparently a common side effect of very serious antipsychotic medication. So he's super heavily medicated right now because of because he fucked his mother. That's probably what did it, if I had to take a guess. There you go. That's your Chris update. You might notice that his Sonichu medallion is very crusty. It appears to be rotting in tandem with his soul. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very. I don't know. I don't have words for it. I don't have words for the Chris shit. Pawu, I have not talked about Fediverse drama in a long time because the Kiwi Farms has been divorced from the Fediverse for a while due to networking issues. However, you may remember that Pawu was like a Japanese pedophile instance. It was like the most popular Fediverse instance in Japan, and it was also like almost explicitly a lolicon instance that had a recurring habitual issue with CSAM, to the point where Graph had to federate it even because there was so much CSAM on it. Just recently, Pawu was actually seized by the domain registrar. So, and I can't wait for Hector Martin and all the other people who use the Fediverse, were active in lolicon instances, and who denounced the Kiwi Farms and were happy for the domain to be seized, to now come out swinging that domain seizures by private companies without due process is a bad thing, actually. CSAM. CSAM is the polite word for child pornography. It's child sexual abuse material, or sometimes CSIM, child sexual exploitation material. It's the polite industry term for child pornography, basically. And people use it because, like, I want to say in Dutch and German, it's literally just called Kinderporno, which is like the most disgusting word in the entire fucking world. So they have come up with a new acronym that sounds more technical and less visually disgusting. So there's that. Pooh got shut down. Aren't you happy? Your moment of zen. I have actually, let me reorder this. Put this over here, and I go back to this because I have some Israeli updates. On side A, we have Chantal. Chantal has some very strong opinions about the Israeli-Palestine war.
Know nothing, and that's it. There's no proof of babies being decapitated. That's a lie. It's called propaganda from Western media. That's been debunked. I reposted that on my TikTok. Thank you very much. We have not seen one decapitated baby. No parents have come out and claimed that at all. So, brainwashed. I'm not saying that atrocities weren't committed, and I don't like war, but at the same time, like, where was all this media attention whenever, we have actual media proof of Palestinians being murdered, so let's just not even go there. Thank you.
She took down this video very quickly, in case you're wondering. So in the last week, the war has developed in such a way that Israel purported that Hamas had decapitated 40 infants, and I will make no opinion on if the 40 infants are real or not. I'm very over war coverage. However, a lot of people purport that it wasn't a thing, and this was very prolific on Twitter to the point where Ben Shapiro lost his fucking mind and started tweeting about the war like every 30 minutes. And I was like checking out his timeline for some reason, and there were like pictures of like burned babies like just on his timeline. Like people like him are taking like the whole war thing very seriously and are bombing people with pictures of like deep fried blackened babies on X, and this is just like normal now, I guess. On the flip side, we have something. What could it be, chat? What could it be? Could it be Ethan Klein talking about something very near and dear to my heart? Possibly. Maybe if I don't.
There was one tweet I saw, and this isn't the first time I saw it, but I saw someone post it and it was getting lots of likes. And the beautiful irony of this is, so it's a cartoon somebody created who put a lot of fucking effort into making a cartoon of Ela in an IDF uniform with a automatic weapon. And, she's got like that kind of Nazi, Jewish propaganda face. And she's just killing kids. She's just mowing down the Palestinian babies. And what's kind of, I don't know, definitely not funny. I don't know what it is. You guys tell me. I know that shit was made by Nazis, like literal Nazis. Mm-hmm. And the people who I saw who were tweeting it this time were leftists. Mm-hmm. So I saw Nazis and leftists clapping hands together to say, fuck Israel. We agree on that. Let's clap it up, brother. And that was a weird feeling for me, and I was in a pretty bad shape. And so I've been trying to erase
it's really
Twitter. I've been trying all week.
How much that upset him. I don't like. Surely he's seen it before. Do
you guys know how? And by the way, I can't. Thank you. I can't deactivate my account because it makes my handle open, which is insane. Obviously, that would be insane to let
somebody else grab it.
So that's not an option. So I was trying to figure out ways to just erase all.
Oh my god! Like, okay, so he has like a condition. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's OCD or something. I don't know. He just has like it's the funny one where you blurt out curse words, but in reality it's just like a twitch. What's that called? Eric Cartman has it in Tourette syndrome. Watch that Tourette syndrome twitch.
So I was trying to figure out ways to
He's
just
like so emotional about it that it like misfires his brain and he starts like sketching out. I've watched a couple clips of Ethan and he always has like a little twitch. I've never seen it spaz out so hard before.
erase all my tweets, all my likes. And it is so fucking hard. Dude, I was trying all weekend. It was really upsetting me because I just needed to get out of there. I did finally figure out a way to
Yeah, the eyebrow thing is what he usually does. He does like a weird eyebrow wiggle. It's like endearing. Like people find that kind of stuff endearing. I've never seen him like spaz out and start like trying to blow salt off his shoulder or something.
download your Twitter data, which you have to wait 24 hours for. And then I bought some software that I could put the Twitter data in. And it seems like just right now, like just right before we started the show, it looks like all my tweets were successfully erased. Which is nice. That was driving me crazy. And then the next thing is I just want to erase all my likes, which I guess is there's like 30,000 of them. It's like, God damn.
Delete.
30 fucking. So it's a pretty monumental
That
task,
soundboard
I
is
guess.
adding so much to
So
the
once
podcast.
the tweets and likes are gone and it's burned, I'm going to erase the app.
I have a
Hell yeah.
soundboard too.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Bye bye to all the psychos there.
Welcome back to Threads, baby.
Maybe I'll join Threads. I did say I'm a threadhead.
Dude. There is a Payday 2 DLC for Ethan Klein, and I was thinking I should totally get that if I ever do like a video game stream. And just heads up, I've looked at my busy schedule. It will be at least December or January before I can do anything fun ever again. But if I ever do a video game stream, it would be really fun to play Payday 2 with the Gila character. Everyone would be rooting for me. I can play the clickety clack sound while I play. So it was very funny to see that he freaked out about this clip, and just as proof positive, this is the type of shit we deal with daily. Sorry, but I'm out. And then he deleted his entire thing. My boy, by the way, my boy does not ask much, but he does ask for shout outs. Sven Stoffels is the guy. Sven Stoffels years ago made an animation that I truly love and show off whenever possible. And the ripples of this animation are still felt years later. And it has conclusively bullied Ethan Klein off of Twitter. A feat that nobody thought possible. Not even a government court order could have peeled this man off of Twitter, but somehow Sven Stoffels managed to do it, which is just incredible. Congratulations. Okay, so small update on the JFG thing. JFG in 2020 put out a video called "Sterile Exit and Entry During Viral Events." And he made like a weird video explaining step by step how to make like if you've ever seen like a movie about like a pandemic, like a zombie virus, they usually have those tent entrances where it's like a little mud room, but it's like polystyrene flaps and then a bunch of like chlorine doused on the ground so that your boots like get doused in the chlorine or the alcohol or whatever the fuck. So he's basically explaining how to turn the mudroom of your house into like a UN pandemic tent where you wipe your boots off before entering your home. I don't know. People found this very fascinating because all of this practical information could be used to how to clean up your house so that you, if you murder your wife, there won't be zero forensic evidence to find. Very nice. Very interesting. And boo! Here we have Ashley Isaacs. She's in a Home Depot. She has dragged her mother out to Home Depot so that she can wear this scary dress and stand next to her husbando,
Happy Halloween.
Jack Skellington.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul. Still you're doomed tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech.
The Lich Queen? No. Eugenia Cooney is merely the Lich acolyte. She is not a queen. Do not give the title of queen to Ashley Isaacs, because while you may look at this in disgust, and you may shake your head and say, oof, that's a bad look. You forget yourself. You forget yourself, and you forget the true Lich Queen, Ashley Isaacs. This, I have not seen a picture of Ashley Isaacs in years. This is the Lich Queen. Don't you forget it. Don't you say Eugenia Cooney is the Lich Queen. Ashley Isaacs is still out there. She's still alive. And this is what she looks like today. So mind your fucking manners. You're in the presence of royalty, chat. But yeah, this picture is fucking horrifying. It makes my skin crawl. It's really crazy. Quickly moving along from the very spooky, scary skeleton. Literal, like I'm shocked that she's still alive. I don't know how she hasn't managed to exist in that condition for as long as she has. There is, and you have to forgive me, maybe there's a funny story buried in here somewhere. There is like a troll called Precious Leaf, and Precious Leaf has been around for a very long time. I want to say that they are like obsessed with like a Pokemon character and have been trolling on Pokemon forums for literally years now. And then something happened and he accidentally cross-contaminated his identities. And they have confirmed that Precious Leaf is actually just a troll who also went by Mario Plumber at some point in time. So this is something that is like completely out of my depth. I am not qualified to comment on this at all. But apparently he was a troll that went by the troll Sona name Mario Plumber, and then at some point became a Pokemon super fan, and then accidentally leaked his true identity, which is, what's his name? I'm not trying to like dox him. I want to know what his name is so I can say that this is who it is. Oh well, I guess that's they're showing the pictures because this is him in real life. He took real life pictures, and then someone like managed to find this exact fucking tree, and this is it, and that's like his mom or something. And then there are other pictures of her with him, and it confirms that this is like the same fucking guy. So he accidentally posed next to a tree that his own mother had taken a picture of. And then there are also pictures of him with his mother on that account. And through that tree, they were able to identify him as being a troll that had been posting on Pokemon forums for a long time, pretending to be retarded. So, I want to say that this is the first time someone's been doxxed by a tree. It's the first time for sure that someone was able to find this exact fucking tree. Just like, I don't know. I guess image recognition is so strong now that Google is like, beep boop, I recognize that tree. That tree is in Portland. I will find you Instagram accounts that have also taken pictures of this tree. Here you go. And you're just shit out of luck if your mom's taking a picture of that tree, I guess. The ants. Finally, as we get into the sector zone, there is a very small Ralph update. Ralph posted to Twitter that he was hacked for some reason. So I have no idea, like, he posted some kind of rant, but the really interesting rant was about this. He says, I say, I'm sorry. Wait, I haven't done my voice in weeks now. I'm sorry I took a couple days off. I don't really need to take days off. I have to miss some of this upcoming week anyway. I've been doing a lot of thinking though. I posted some stuff here recently. I didn't mean to make anyone worry. I guess I just said what I've been feeling so bad about. Also, I only have this account on my phone, LOL. It's difficult knowing you torpedoed your personal life beyond repair with no hope of tranquility. The one person you wish you could make it right with over anyone else doesn't want anything to do with you. And rightfully so. The other actual living pieces of you fade into your mind and races from memory into a new state you can't even comprehend. The mannerisms, features, the precious smile you took for granted, gone. Your mind creates a new image of what you might be. Let the computer generated "Have you seen me" flyer cards in your direct mail. I don't write this to have anyone feeling sorry for me. I write this because a lot of you love me from a distance. I receive messages of you all from all of you all the time, and have several sent me messages last night. Positive and caring, legitimate feeling. I genuinely love you all as well. I wanted you to know how much it's meant to me over the years, especially now. I know many of you struggle, some with issues similar to mine. I want to be a guy you can point 2 years from now and say that guy really changed, not for clout or career, to do better and leave something good on top of all the bad. Maybe someday, if you mean it and live it, the ones you love will forgive you. Then again, maybe they won't. If they choose to give that one day, it will be their choice, not yours. You have to do good for good, not to get some. I've enjoyed the last couple of weeks of Killstream. I don't want anyone to get down. This is a somber post, but it's not meant to be discouraging. It's meant to be uplifting. I still talk shit. I'm still a loudmouth. I enjoy entertaining you and putting a unique show out. That's something you don't find anywhere else. I'm very much committed to that mission. I know I can do it at the high level. I'm not drunk. I haven't gone off the edge or over the cliff. I'm thoughtful about my life, and I'd like to see the rest of it go. I've been working on a lot of it behind the scenes. I had a picture drawn for me years ago. I still have it. It was a beautiful tiger jumping through a fire hoop. It was dedicated to the wild tiger, me, who refused to be tamed. I wish to be allowed myself to be tamed back then and to be healed. We deserve better. You can't keep a wild tiger, even a loving one. I'm working on reforming that wild son of a bitch. Tiger emoji. Thank you for the well wishes. I'll be back very soon. So he's pretty... Oh, he immediately switches. Okay, before I read this, let me do something real quick. Let's see. Hold up, give me 1 second. All right, that should work. Ethan Ralph says, "You don't even know what moral outrage is, you idiot. A second-rate intellect," is responding to the Gator Gamer, actually. Gator says, "Without Sargon, Milo, and Jim, you'd just be a fat hillbilly Eminem. Without Janet and Nora, there'd be no Killstream. Without me and Zidane, you'd be streaming to less than COG. Spare me the selective moral outrage. The only talent you have is being a perpetual trash fire." This is in reverse order, actually. I'm going to read the first one first. Gator says, "Didn't you cry when Jim berated you on live stream? Don't know if you went to get into a dad fight, considering I can call mine and tell him I love him, but the last time you saw yours was in a puddle. But nice of you to take a break from tweeting your 13 reasons why to drop by." He says, "Like I said, bitter weirdo complete with fan fiction, responds immediately to any Ralph interaction. Ha 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 ha. A dead dad joke. Mr. Mole high ground. Disingenuous scum. I have more talent in my left panky than Gator could ever have, and it makes him very angry." Ethan also says, "You don't even know what moral outrage is, you idiot. Second-rate intellect with the first-rate predilection for underage anime girls." That's pretty funny, actually. "You've universally reviled among the Killstream audience from every era, and I put thousands on the board without any of those people." Yeah, it's kind of hard for Gator to take shots at Ralph, to be fair. I mean, like the big thing about Gator is that he took like marching orders from Ralph for years. Okay, I have made the thing that I was working for. His image inspired me to, on the fly, go ahead and use the Bing image creation tool. Here we have a half tiger, half pig flying through a fiery hoop with the big Killstream K in the background. Very cool, Bing. Very cool. Thank you. Sorry, Gator. Sorry, that's Ashley Isaacs. I didn't mean to show that to you again. The big thing here, and I think this is what's upsetting Ralph, is that and there was some confusion about if this was real or not, because some people didn't immediately make fake Instagram accounts to try and capitalize on this. However, May did come back to Twitter to put out this message to everybody. Westside Wildflower says, my daughter trying to tell me to get a dog and a boyfriend. And then May, just throwing out a line there in case any fine young men out there would like to, I guess, take care of a toddler age little girl. I don't know. That's not exactly what I would bait a hook with if I was a single mom trying to attract a man. I would definitely not throw out there, hey, I have a toddler age daughter. Sounds like the wrong approach. I would really hope that's an accident, and you probably should revise your strategy, because that looks really bad, and the guys you would attract with messaging like that are not the kind of guys you would want around them. So yes, maybe switch it up a little bit. However, there is a man out there. There is a man out there who can fix her, and his name is the Gator Gaymore. It is still possible. I know Gator will think, I, as the top gym impersonator, can do a little bit better than May Ralph. No, Gator, you cannot. Spooky Weeb Trash still does not let you fuck her. You are still doing that Anime Boomer podcast. It will never happen. You will never smash that box. For the love of God, you have a woman out here who is retarded, and she is using her daughter as bait to try and find a man. You need to save her, Gator. You need to help. You need to interject yourself into this matter and be the stepfather we all know you can be. It can still happen, chat. It can still happen. All right. That's that. So now that Chris Chan is medicated and no longer a complete spaz, King Lolcow, someone has nominated a successor.
I got to this anonymous letter, or the anonymous package. It was postage not paid. Like, I had to pay the postage on it to receive it. And the post office was like, well, where was it sent from? And it had my address as the return address with me as the sendee, which is not true. And in it had this burned piece of paper, which I feel like I'm going to get serial rape here. It says, the stars are aligned. A new host is chosen. Hail unto thee, Nick Chan Rakatachu. And then with that came this. And this was so weird because this came before the mention of Sonic in the trademark dispute that we were talking about last night. A Sonichu medallion has been passed to me. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what it means other than what it means, but that is that happened. It cost me $2 to pay the postage on it.
Dude, if you need more guns, just let me know. I'll send some.
This is friendly, I think. This is friendly. Don't put it on.
Come on.
Don't put it on. Sonichu
He has it on.
He lives in you.
He says it. The guy sent him a cursed medallion made of cursed Play-Doh, model magic, and then sent him a Necronomicon enchantment. And Rakata instinctively puts on the medallion and reads the enchantment aloud in public so that everyone may witness it. He even has gathered witnesses so that the deed may be seen and recorded into history. This is not good chat. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? Let me see what I got here. Rakata and Dick both desperately want my attention. They have acknowledged me as their e-daddy, and they seek my validation and approval or disapproval in this instance. And so I will be very selective in what I respond to regarding them, because I know that they will simply act up anytime they want e-daddy's attention. And that's not good entertainment, and it encourages them to be boring. So I have to be very careful. I will start with this. Rakata, whenever you see the kitchen in the background, that's like a local stream, and you're almost guaranteed that he's about to say some retarded ass shit. So in this instance, Rakata makes the statement that all men are gay.
I have a theory. It's gonna make some gay men very mad, but I have a theory that men are becoming closetedly gay. Men as a group. Not me, obviously. I'm super heterosexual. Only like women, but a bunch of men are closetedly gay. And I've determined this because is simple. If you've been online, like I've been around a bit, I'm an observant man. Not an observant Jew, that's different. I'm an observant man. And I've talked a lot about relationships, male attraction, female attraction, stuff like that. You guys have heard this. People get pissed off when I do. They're like, you don't know anything. You're a fag. I'm like, yeah, well, true, but listen to me for a second. I'm right. And I've talked about short shorts, very important. I've talked about quite a bit. And the one thing I've noticed about men commenting about how men should present themselves as attractive is men don't listen to women about being attractive. In fact, men predominantly listen to men about how to be attractive, which tells me that men are all gay and they really want to know how to get a dick in their butt. That's just facts. This is just kind of true. And it's weird to admit that most men want to hear what men think are attractive. And men will justify their unseemly and ungainly looks by saying, hey, bro, nice giant beard. Like the big mountain man beard. I know there's like 5 women out there who will lie and be like, no, those lumberjack beards are really great. I love the way that it feels when he's going down on me and I can feel his beard on my kneecaps. I definitely like that. That's cool. But what it actually is a giant excuse to be a big, fat, burly guy with a big beard, and the beard distracts from how fat and ugly you are. I got it. Look, no, I love it. I love those beards. But that's because I'm a guy. Like, guys like those beards. Women don't like those beards. And I know, again, I know some women are going to lie. Women are chameleons. We know this. There's several other instances where women will lie about what's attractive on men. Men don't lie. Men will tell you what men find attractive, and those giant beards and sunglasses and bald heads are definitely one of those things that other men find attractive, but that's what women lie about. And there's, again, the long shorts. Guys are like, no, long shorts are great. No, I wouldn't want short shorts. That'd be gay. And other guys are like, yeah, long shorts are super hot. Short shorts, ugly as hell. And you're like, yeah, super gay to like short shorts, right? And the guys are like, yeah, super gay. Hotness is the long shorts. And they're like, yeah, that's why I'm going to wear long shorts. Boom. Telling you, dudes are gay. I don't know what to say.
So I don't know what to make of that. If he wants to come out as gay, like just come out. I don't even know what he's waiting for. Because he copes that he doesn't do any of the things that the forum has accused him of doing. But then he tries to like say that he doesn't care by saying, well, it all sounds really fun anyways. So just say it. I don't understand. Like, what's the point of denying that you do wife swapping or that you go to hedonism or whatever, like during the racial mixing week? Like, at this point, what difference does it make? If you want to say that you're gay or heteroflex or whatever, just do it. Does anyone care? I've heard the theory that maybe he's just trying to warm people up to this before he comes out. He's just going to be like, he's testing the waters. He's hinting like, haha, all men are kind of gay, haha. And he's just trying to see like what his existing audience thinks before he comes out and be like, yeah, so anyways, me and my wife, we swap. And I also get fucked in the ass by black men. Like, is that what he's leading up to? He's just trying to like do the frog boiling thing. And then in a year from now, when it gets to that point where he can comfortably talk about his experiences at Hedonism 3, he's just like, dude, I've been talking about how all guys are kind of gay since like this time last year, man. I've never been hiding this. I've just been talking about it for years at this point. Like, is that the gambit? Is he like, is he capable of the kind of like foretelling that would require, like the planning that would take to get to that point? Because that's more planning than I would expect from him at this point in time, considering the holes in his head. But yeah, that's a weird clip. The other one is this. I like this clip too. I'll play this.
Is that why I like the bottle?
By the way, he's open mouth chewing and talking. That's how you know he does not give a single fuck about his audience. Anybody who eats on mic and like is just talking into the mic, and that's not like the purpose of the thing. They just don't give a fuck. There was one clip of me eating on mic, and that is when I am like eating a burger, because it was the middle of Drop Kiwi Farms, and I was literally working every second. And the one time that I got to myself to eat a burger, I did some Gumroad content for it. It's the only clip of me eating. Yeah, it's like he really just doesn't give a fuck if he's just going to casually do this.
Real quick. I know there's a clip video of me like licking the bottle a million times in the dick stream.
Myself yesterday.
rage.
The dick stream. That's his code name for the 7-hour stream where he's completely fucked up and calling himself a white bread ass nigga and making fun of Eric July and shit. I guess Dick was technically on that stream.
Trust everyone. Everyone's a fag. I'd say
No
no
one
quotes. No one ever will. They're all doing it
I'll
for
replay this
money,
clip 'cause it's
clout,
really
or
good.
whatever. And you've heard people don't seem to realize this because apparently justified.
Oh, alcoholic lick the bottle. I've been licking the bottle for 6 years, I think. When you pour whiskey into a glass and you set it down, a little drip goes down the bottle. When you pay $200 for a bottle of whiskey and a drip goes down, you're like, that's like 86 cents. Lick it. Why would you? And the 86 cents thing is a joke. But when you set the whiskey down, the bottle down, and you let the drip go and form a circle, it forms a literal circle stain on whatever surface it's on. Like, why do you lick the bottle? It's like, well, it's either lick the bottle or put a fucking Kleenex up to it or whatever. Just don't make a mess. That's the whole thing. Don't make a mess. Just drink water then. If I drank water, do you think I would have fucking torched Eric July tonight? Think about it.
That's so weird. I don't have a huge amount of experience drinking, but I have drank alcohol before. I think what it is, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't ever remember like spilling alcohol like that. I kind of wonder if maybe the reason why there's not like a little dribble when I drink is that like I put the cap back on it. Does he not like recap it? What the fuck is he doing? How is he accomplishing this? I really don't understand. Why is his nose so red? Because he's fucking drunk. He's sloshed in this. I just don't understand like like it's like a compulsion every time. Like he does it every time he pours a drink. He like licks the bottle. I'm really trying to think about the times that I've poured alcohol, and I don't think I've ever had the fucking rundown. I've never had the compulsion to lick it either. It's usually you pour it out and then you recap it, and it's fine, and it doesn't dribble anywhere. I don't know, man. Why does Nick still stream? Because it makes him money. That's it. The next thing requires some explanation. Russell Greer has sued me for like 8 million different things a couple years ago. Literally in 2019, he DMCA'd me, and then I think he filed in 2020. Of all those charges or torts that he filed against me, they were all rejected. He then appealed to this to the appellate court of the 10th district, I want to say. It's right in front of me. The United States District Court for the District of Utah. I think that's the 10th circuit. Yes, the 10th circuit court. And when he did this, a group called the Digital Justice Organization, which is a copyright protection group, so like a digital media rights group, one of the worst kinds of people on the fucking planet, people who do nothing. What they do, I believe they are funded by international media rights organizations. I'm not going to name any names, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. The kinds of people who defend copyright however strongly as possible. The worst people on the planet pour money into organizations like this. And what they do is they look for every single copyright dispute in the entire country, and they will represent it pro bono to try and score wins, or they think they can score wins in defense of copyright. Because once court precedence is settled, then it seeps into the entire country, and it affects all copyright cases moving forward, especially in that jurisdiction, but it can leak out to other districts as well. So my attorney was Gregory Skordas, who was the attorney for Taylor Swift when Russell Greer sued Tay Tay, and I picked him specifically for the meme, and he won the lawsuit. It was dead in the water. It appealed, and then the Digital Justice Organization represented Greer pro bono for the sake of trying to win copyright law, and they managed to get very specifically on the contributory copyright infringement. They managed to get that overturned, the decision that was to be thrown out. So now the case is back alive, which means that I have to defend against it. I have very, very, very fair arrangements with my attorney, and I have an all hands on deck from multiple attorneys on how to proceed forward, and I have a very strong idea of how I want to respond. It is an unfortunate circumstance. I 100% believe that it's still being used fairly. At the first hurdle, though, with this, it couldn't be dismissed in the easiest way possible, but obviously there's still routes forward. Ricada, who is someone who does not like Greer, who does not like DMCA abuse, who is supposedly a free speech libertarian type, who really shouldn't be, if he's libertarian, he really shouldn't be pro infinite copyright either, saw this, heard the news, and literally had to interrupt his stream without even reading it, without going over it, without understanding the implications of it, without really thinking it over. Just heard the term that heard that I would probably have to pay money for an attorney moving forward in this case to gloat. And I want to show you this because I want you to look too, if you're watching. I want you to watch the small emotions in his face, the little things that he does, how much he hits the bottle. Just like savor the small things about his behavior, because there's so much body language and invisible like dis something, like there's a lack of harmony between what he's saying and how he's feeling, and he's trying to be very careful in how he talks about this, so it's not too obvious how he feels, but it's very, very evident in the body language. This is 4 minutes long, and I will subject you to all of it because I want you to really see that underneath the haha silly facade, this is the real Nick Ricada. This is how he actually is. He is petty, vindictive. He has no sense of right and wrong. He is a person driven entirely by immediate instant gratification. That's all he is.
Russell Greer. In a case that I had stopped following, has won his appeal against Kiwi Farms for contributory copyright infringement, and now the case moves on. Oh, Kiwi Bros. I don't feel so good, Kiwi Bros. Look, I don't want Russell Greer to win this case in concept. I really don't want that to happen. And I do not think that contributory copyright infringement, based on the facts I saw, is a thing. I think they may ultimately win the case. But you know, oh, shit. Well, sorry, Josh.
Sorry, Gator.
Having a little trouble mustering the sympathy for you, you faggot. Hope you don't have to go to Discovery on that one. That might be unfortunate. Mm.
Look at that. Look at the face.
Don't
No
do
words.
a stream screaming about it, Josh. Or e-bag for a crowdfund for your lawsuit or anything like that. That'd be a shame, right? If you did all that. There's an unjust lawsuit against you, and someone decided to have a weird, random personal animus with you for no fucking reason.
That's a lot of alcohol.
That suck.
It's a lot of alcohol really fast.
So there'll be an update apparently on that. I stopped following that case. I thought it was dead in the fucking water. Kiwi Farms has been taking L's like crazy lately. Shit. That's the most embarrassing opponent to lose to possible. All right. Well, there you go. All right. I don't know anything about it other than they reversed and remanded, saying that Russell Greer has brought plausible claims of contributory copyright infringement against the Kiwi Farms. And so now it will go back to the district court to proceed with the case. We'll have to look into the arguments presented and what the actual, I guess what the order says. It's amazing. Josh is a really good lawyer, though. I mean, he usually knows what he's talking about, so that's cool. I guess he just didn't win this one. Riley still has that felony charge, though. So he's right on that. Right? Right, Josh? Riley's got that felony charge? Definitely got a felony for showing up the rivers. Does he have it? You seen a charging document, or have you seen an incident report? Have you seen a warrant request? I haven't seen one. Seems like somebody would have that. Oh, God, that's funny.
Well, I don't know. It is fair to criticize my legal takes because we're both non-practicing lawyers. We have about as much courtroom experience. In fact, if I do get taken to a deposition, I think that I will have more courtroom experience than Nick. I don't know. I do have practicing attorneys who are looking into it, more than one. And again, very, very reasonable people who are doing their best to try and help me within the limitations that I have. And I'm very thankful for the sort of pantheon of really incredible people that I have who have volunteered their time and services to assist me in the shit that I have to go through. If I do have to sell shit to pay bills and stuff, because even if an attorney working pro bono, there are still fees involved in depositions. Like you have to pay people for their time when you depose them. It's obviously it's not ideal to have to go back to square one and fight it over again, but the fact is that the song that is alleged to be, there's two alleged contributory copyright infringements. One of them is a Google Drive link, which case law indicates a Google Drive link cannot be copyright infringement where the link is placed because it doesn't make any sense. The file is literally not on my server. I do not have I do not host it. The other one is a song, and I believe very strongly that among other things, the song is necessarily archived in a way that does not infringe upon the original market, so that people may criticize the song in a way that they can't anywhere else. Because how do you criticize Russell Greer when he's moderating his comments and so on and so forth? There's reasons for it. So I'm pretty confident. I would give it about an 8 out of 10 in confidence. I am way more confident that I can defend the fair use of and the non-infringement of the torts of Russell Greer's case than I am in Ricada not being found guilty of defamation pro se against Montegraph for saying that he always liked sucking little baby dicks. That is very much on the nose. It is not a joke. It cannot be interpreted as a joke. There is no way to interpret that other than a public accusation that one man who has never been convicted of any child sex offenses is a child sex offender in the literal definition of that term. And on one hand, it's very reasonable to, for a host to say, no, I'm not going to censor archives of clips that could be deleted off the internet, it is very unreasonable to randomly go out and accuse people of being pedophiles. However, I guess he just assumes that when people like Vito go out and they say that they're a pedophile and that they jerk off to cuties and so on and so forth, and they have old blogs of them reviewing Shotacon and shit, then you can't make the inferences about that. When someone sings a song titled "I Am a Pedophile," you can't make inferences about that. And it's just so disingenuous, and it's almost kind of shocking. Like when I see Rekieta so transparently like malicious like that, it makes me wonder, was he always like that? Because in my head, he was at one point a really nice guy who really did care about certain things and had principled opinions, but then he became an alcoholic and there are holes in his brain. And now I am looking at this thinking like, wow, has this guy always been like this? Is this like the real Rekieta? And the only thing that's changed is that now, because of the holes in his head, he lacks the intellectual capacity to maintain his facade. And now all that I'm seeing is like the real person with sans any facade. And he's just, the difference is not that his personality has changed because there's a hole boring through his prefrontal cortex. The only thing that's changed is that he's no longer able to pretend to be anything else. It's really hard for me to distinguish. And I don't know. I am utterly disgusted by him. And the thing is I even told him early on, like, that I disagreed with him calling Montegraph a child sex offender. And I told him, I think I told him directly that he should have found a way out of the case. And again, Rekieta, in his thing, what he just said is that he doesn't even think that it will proceed and I'll have to pay, whatever the fuck for statutory damages. He thinks it will get thrown out. But what he finds really funny is that he knows somebody with lesser means than him is going to have to pay to go all the way up to discovery, or, which is $30,000 up to $75,000 for a trial and so on. It's more expensive. It's a bigger pain in the ass. It's more time. This case has literally been going on for 2 years now. Maybe even 3. I want to say that it was filed around this time in 2020. So this has been going on for 3 years now. And of course, it's going to go to appeals. It's going to take more months. And then it's going to go back to, if appeals aren't accepted this time around, it'll go back to, square one. And then it's all over again, another 3 years. Because Russell Greer sang a song about Instagram model that people want to make fun of and couldn't do so, except on the Kiwi Farms. And he tried to censor that, and it didn't work out. So yeah, it's a mess, and it's one of the biggest pains in the asses. I want to phrase it like this: even completely frivolous bullshit lawsuits filed pro se in form of pauperis by a literal insane person. You could right now, you could go online, you could find some templates for whatever tort you wanted to file. You could find somebody and then file a lawsuit against them in a courtroom. You could sign it, pay $100 for the filing fee, and then that person is fucked. You will probably, like, literally just pick any random civil tort in your state and then pick it out of your phone book, any name from your entire state, and file that random bullshit lawsuit with unspecific details. And if you manage to pass the sniff test and get that lawsuit filed in with absolute bullshit facts, there is a likelihood that you will bankrupt that person. All it takes is one lawsuit, one bullshit lawsuit, and almost everybody in the United States of America is bankrupt. They have no way of defending it. You're not entitled to a public defender in civil cases. There's very rarely legal help for people who are being taken advantage of by this system. In my case, the EFF is aware of what's going on. They're aware of the appeal, and they do not care. They say you're completely on your own. And other nonprofit organizations like that do not want to touch us because in the appellate court, like, listen, I'll show you this. If I go through this, this is a quote from, by the way, I want to say something about the judge, but I'll hold my tongue. I'll be nice. The judge did decide to say this in their opinion. Many of Kiwi Farm's targets are physically or mentally disabled. And Mr. Greer himself suffers a form of facial paralysis. Kiwi Farms users allegedly stalk and harass these other individuals. According to Mr. Greer's complaint and the request for a preliminary injunction, Mr. Moon and Kiwi Farms users have been implicated in 3 suicides, a school shooting in New Mexico, a clash with New Zealand authorities over information about terrorist attacks in mosques and churches. Utter bullshit. But at this stage in the proceedings, anything that the plaintiff files is presumed to be true. And of course, the judge is going to take this and reiterate it. And then that information is in public record as like a court document. And then when people report on this, on like Bloomberg News and shit, they quote this as true. They say, well, a judge is saying that they withheld information from New Zealand police, so therefore they were helping a terrorist. And they get to just say that now forever because the court is participating in this. So it's really frustrating, and there's a lot of injustice, but because at this point, like the Kiwi Farms is undefamable. You can say literally anything about us, and I have no recourse against it. And the organizations that you would hope would defend civil liberties are not interested in helping. They want something easier and more better for PR. So the justice system for little people in the United States is very dire. It's in a very sad place. Rekieta knows that it's very dire. It's in a very sad place, and he doesn't care, and he thinks it's funny actually. So keep that in mind. Let's just do a little what they call in-camera editing right now. Go back to this.
But you know,
when Rekieta asks you for money to help his poor little defense case, to hire the nice lawyer from California to defend him from the heckin' defamation case. Remember this. This is what he thinks about people abusing the legal system.
Oh shit!
Shit. That's a white bread ass nigga if I've ever seen one. Oh well. It does suck. It really shocks me, like how disappointing he continues to be, because it's gone from like, oh well, I expect better of him, to like, oh that's actually like really shitty behavior from like anybody. And never buying somebody that you know hold in high regard or trusted at some point. Like that's like shitty behavior just in general from people. Such is life. And there you go. That's your clip, Alyssa. Enjoy. Finally, the Reddit segment, chat. The most anticipated Reddit, the most anticipated segment about Reddit on the entire internet. Anti-feminism AU. So this is the guy's username. I assume that he's an Aussie anti-feminist heckin' manly man. Says, commenting on, my fiance always puts her family first and I don't know if I can handle it. In the Philippines, says, been living in the Philippines for quite some time and met over 100 women in both cities and provinces. While I've met some sweet girls, I still haven't been able to find the one I'm compatible with long term. The main reason is cultural differences. They're way too involved in their family. If you marry a Filipina, her family will always come first and you will be second. This is the opposite in the West. Whenever a Filipina moves overseas and earns money, pretty much all the money she earns is sent back to her family. This would be a major cause of conflict because instead of her spending the money on you as a couple for things like travel, etc., it will go to her family first. In addition, their family will also expect you to give them money because you're a rich foreigner. But even if you refuse to do so, she will still do it. This is a very hard cultural difference to overcome, and it's something I can see working out. I can't see working out. I've come to the conclusion that no Filipina is suitable for long term. They are great for short term dating, but that's all. To the OP, run as fast and as far as you can. This shit will only get worse. Do not marry this woman. She will suck you dry and clean you out. Now, he also posts in our men's rights in the thread, women only train coaches. saying, unfortunately, they also have women-only carriages in Manila, Philippines. Was quite surprised and disappointed to see that in a third world country such as the Philippines. This guy is offended that there are women's-only carriages on trains. I cannot even fucking imagine being upset about that. As far as the, like, obviously, see, his issue is that he thinks, like, I'm going to go to a third world country and literally buy a woman. Like, I'm just going to, like, purchase a female, a femoid, to be my breeder. And then I'm just not going to ever, and I'm just going to, like, export her out of the country to my country. And that'll be the end of that. And then he's surprised that they're, like, financially driven. Like, what do you mean, this woman I'm literally buying with cash to tolerate me and have my children, wants to send money back to home? What do you mean that she's first and foremost concerned with elevating the economic status of herself and her family? That's ridiculous. She should be putting my needs first. It's really, really sad shit. He has 100 dates, so he's just been going around the Philippines, like, fucking every yellow woman that he can. Probably promising them outright that they can come to the US or Australia or whatever the fuck later, and then leaving because it's like, oh, what do you mean that you still live at home? By the way, everyone in the Philippines lives at home. Almost like they have, like, they live in, like, small shanties. Like, the poorest Filipinos will live in, like, a small home together, and it will be, you know, the grandparents, mom, dad, and the kids all living together. Like, that's really, really normal in the Philippines. It's extremely retarded to move to the Philippines and then think, I'm going to meet a woman who doesn't like her family. If you meet a woman in the Philippines who doesn't like her family, she's fucking crazy. She's like BPD and cannot exist in their normal society there. So yeah, sex tourist BTFO'd by the Filipinos. I guess I can maybe read a little bit more. Oh, I forgot something, actually. Did I forget this? I did. Okay, I do have a little more. Let's see if I can find something really funny off the top of my head. Dual mating strategy of women. On Bumble and Tinder, girls will have looking for something casual option on their profile. But when I ask them what they're looking for, they say serious. When I ask them, so why did you put casual in your profile? They refuse to answer and unmatch. This means they only went casual for Chad, but every other guy they say looking for serious because they want as beta providers. However, they still put the option of casual on their profile because they can't miss out on sex with Chad. Women seem to be very secretive about this dual mating strategy to the point where they just unmatch if you catch them out. They are terrified of guys finding out because it threatens their ability to have a beta provider. The dual mating strategy of women really pisses me off. Any other guy has noticed this behavior? It's simple. Just be Chad. The dreaded good luck. Anyone else notice women love to use good luck when they no longer wish to talk to you anymore? I really hate it how they do this. Can't they just say, sorry, this isn't going to work due to X instead of just a good luck? Hell, I'd even rather just unmatch without saying anything because saying good luck seems so fake. They don't give a shit about whether you have good luck in dating or not. Why do they pretend to? It's become such an overused phrase that whenever a woman does genuinely wish me good luck in something, I ask, huh? What's wrong? Because all I hear is, I don't want to speak to you anymore. Another one they use a lot is wish you all the best. Again, so fake. They don't give a shit. What, do men use this sort of language too, or is it mostly just women? He ventured out of like his male dating area, so he got downvoted on this one. Our swipe helper. New Tinder changes. Can't get around ban? Question mark. Anyone else notice that it's no longer possible to get around a ban by changing the device ID? Previously, this worked with a new number and changing the device ID with Crane Tweak on iOS, but somehow it is still ever able to detect my phone now. The only way to ban evade now is to reset the whole device. Anyone else notice this? And this guy is trying to brute force an MD5 password, so he's breaking into somebody's phone or something, or their online account. How much should demand for private investigators? Getting email addresses from a phone number. Found a jailbreak for ChatGPT that lets you ask anything, bypassing all the feminist and woke BS. And are anti-feminist. Men's rights. Please stop saying women only date the top 20 or 10% of men. It's now the top 5%. What is DJI? DJI fans? What the fuck is that? It's like a band? A drone? He's like a drone enthusiast. Oh my, this guy 1,000,000,000,000,000,000% uses a drone to like creep shot women in their apartment through their windows. This guy is just like, he's built a profile to be as creepy as humanly possible. Women ghost after sex just as much as men. You will often hear women complaining about not wanting sex on the first date because they think most men will ghost them once they have gotten what they wanted. But in my experience, women do it just as much. In most cases, I actually want to see the girl again. Oh no, I know where this is going. But usually they're the ones who ghost me after sex. It seems many women are also just wanting a one-night stand and then... He's so bad at sex, they just leave. They just leave. He's so terrible in bed that the next day they just get out quietly before he wakes up. Oh, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. It doesn't even compute to him that he's like a dicklet who sucks in bed. He's just like, you know, all these women are just so into one night stands. It's crazy. I paid them and then they disappear. What's happening? Do you think more countries will ban drones in the future? Oh no. Electric scooters. At least he hates pit bulls. He posts an R dog free and posts videos of pit bulls dying. That's sounds like something I would do. Let's see. On our online dating, why do Western women refuse to give you their number? Anyone else notice this phenomenon? I usually ask for their number once we built a connection and had a few good conversations over a few days. But lately I've noticed that Western women will always refuse and be like, I'd rather chat here until we've met in person. Why are they so paranoid? I find Tinder to be a slow and clunky on the phone, and sometimes it will crash. The experience is just a lot better on WhatsApp, which is a more optimized app. Not to mention that in case something happens on Tinder, e.g. salty girls reporting you for petty reasons, you'll lose contact forever. He gets banned on Tinder so much that he has to try and score phone numbers as quickly as possible for hookups because there is no guarantee he will not be banned from the app before they can arrange a date in person. I've also used Tinder in Southeast Asia, and girls will give me their numbers even just after a few lines because you're white, retard. If a Western woman refuses to give you a number after a few days of chatting and never say, oh, that's a shame because I'm done with this app and I'm about to delete it, so no problem, and they are really into you, then they will give you the number. If not, that's just not worth it. Tinder experiment. Unattractive obese girl gets 474 likes in 24 hours. Many are Chads. So he's doing like fake Tinder profiles to see about fat bitches getting likes. This guy's awesome. Roe v. Wade is an overturn is a win for average guys and a loss for Chads. women lose constitutional right to abortion. This Chad most effective. I'm just imagining like the Chad guy with his out shirt like crying into his out shirts because he's like, oh my god, I can't get bitches to abort babies anymore. Oh, that's funny. Invite him to the farms. All right, I'll cut it there. Oh, there is one more thing actually. I'm not going to play any Boss Man Jack clips, but I will just briefly cover what's happened with him. He, as I mentioned, he got Chance. He switched over from Stake to Chance. He switched over from Stake to Chance because he was affiliate of Stake, and then he started streaming other gambling platforms because Stake has limits to like how often you can withdraw and redeposit on their platform. So when he hit that limit, he would just switch over to other platforms and then stream that. That got reported to Stake and they dropped him as an affiliate. He was making $200 a day. Well, he would give the money back to Stake, but he was getting that money to play with. After they dropped him, he became an affiliate with Chance, and he fucked that up on his own. Because on Chance, they have a $3 limit to that game Keno, which is, I talked about it before, it has really bad odds. It's fucking unbelievable that he plays it. So he would withdraw his money from Chance and then bring it to another casino to play on their Keno board. So they dropped him because they could tell that he was withdrawing his Bitcoin directly into another wallet to play over there. And obviously, if the casino is giving you $200 a day to play with, they expect you to give that money back to them. But if you're just going to gamble it on other fucking casinos, then they're just donating their money to Stake. So obviously they're going to ban you from their affiliate program if you're just burning their money on a different casino. So this time it wasn't even a rat's fault. He didn't get reported for doing shit. They correctly identified, like their system identified that he was withdrawing money to Stake, and booted him off. So now he's only betting with juice. He has to beg for every single dollar that he gets. So he's more like, he's playing more video games than usual, and he's more like emotional because like if he loses money, he can't just like reclaim that money later on. But such is life for the boss man Jack. All right. I will remind everybody just really quick, if you made it this far, as we enter the shill segment, before you go, or before I start doing the super chats, whichever it may be, I would like to remind everybody that I am doing the Halloween merchandise run. You can go ahead to Maddie.live or MattTheInternet.com and get a shirt or a hoodie. Here is the shirt, chat. It's a great design. It's an amazing design. It's a wonderful design, chat. Matt at the Internet. Oh, he was being view-botted by rats. That's why he had 12,000 viewers. Anyways, pick up a shirt if you like it. Thank you very much. I'll do the super chats now. Let us flip to Le Chill mode. And let's see. I'll start with Rumble today. Wally Howe for 2 says, hope you have a good day, Josh. You are my nibba as always. Oh, I'm having a great week so far. Thank you very much. Rabies Redneck for 2 says, my church supports Israel, so I wrote this on on my truck. And then there's a back of an old Ford pickup, and he's written on his truck, Matthew 5:5, Revelation 2:9, Free Palestine. I'm assuming that those are the books about the church, the synagogue of Satan. I'm just going to take a wild guess and assume that those are about the synagogue of Satan. Thank you, Rabies. Roxanne Wolf for 5 says, bark, bark. Thank you, Roxanne Wolf. What a great super chat. Casting Couchcraft for 20 says, please watch at least 45 seconds of this timeless entertainment, Sopranos, O's, and Hoes. Okay. I will spare 45 seconds. Oh!
Oh! Oh! Push! Oh! Ho!
That all it is?
Oh! Ho! Oh, Paisan! Oh! Back up! Oh! Oh! Oh!
I will give you 20.
Oh! 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 Ho! Ho! Ho!
There's no reason to have 45 seconds of continuous O's. I will give you 20, my friend. Thank you for all the O's. The Lonely Windigo for 10 says, I will send the super chat and I will be happy. Based and Schwab pilled. We need the economic forum to give me a stimulus package. Holy Howl for 1 says, Ethan got PTSD watching that video. Oh, this video? That's a shame because all those children who saw their friends get murdered have PTSD. Very sad. All else fails for 5 says, Ethan eradicated his tweets the same day Hila eradicated children. Oh no, I can't believe Hila, according to all else fails for 5, says all that. That's crazy, bros. All else fails for 5 says going to need to pump those numbers up, and then he links to an Axios article. At least 15 journalists killed in the Hamas-Israel war. Oh no, bros. Journalists, our greatest resource, the fifth pillar, dying in war? That's crazy. That's so shocking and sad, and I feel very bad about it. Thank you. Baldo Pagans for 2 says, wait, are we manipulating you, Null, or terrifying you? I am both terrified and manipulated at every given second. Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed for 5 says Pizza Day and links to the 4chan auto board, and you bet it, it's a fat dragon in a car eating pizza. Thank you. Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed for 5 says Pizza Day and links to the 4chan auto board, and you guessed it, it's a fat dragon. She's driving on the right this time, which I will point out. She also has 3 midsections because she's so fat. Thank you. Anime Sucks, Scope and Seed for 5 says Pizza Day and links to the 4chan auto board, and you guessed it, is a fat dragon in a car, and she's wearing a shirt that says Detractor while farting. Thank you. Pizza Day, Anime Sucks, Scope and Seed for 5 says Pizza Day and links to the 4chan auto board, and this time she's wearing a shirt that says Bugged Belly Mechanics. Thank you. Anime Sucks, Scope and Seed for 5 says Pizza Day and links to the 4chan auto board. This time she's wearing a shirt that just says Pizza Day. And it kind of looks like a different logo, but it forgets. It's like red with like a white stripe on it. Kind of looks like something else. This time she has 3 pizzas and is still farting. Thank you. Iapo for 5 says new host has been chosen. That's why Chris is disintegrating. It would make sense. It would make sense, my friend. Red Crab for 5 says I can't afford to give you $100 this week, so 50 will have to do. 40. Who said I have to give you 20? 10 is more than fair. Thank you, Red Crab. I understand that we all have different liberties and how much we can give to the internet podcast. Some people have more than enough to donate dragons farting for whatever reason. All else fails for 10 says Nick started as Juju fanboy, didn't gain Juju's audience due to LawTube, and has been trying to court those fans ever since. That's all there is to him and all there will ever be. I have no idea the obsession with Dick Masterson. I mean, his whole thing about being like an LA guy is like a cool shtick, I guess, but I don't look up to that. There's nothing enviable about being a washed up never was in fucking Hollywood who published 1 book, was in an advertisement, and was like, he was like had an extra role as like a serial killer fanboy. He was like a greasy loser selling serial killer paraphernalia in like a TV show, and that's it. And that's supposed to be cool, like. And he managed to get his old best friend sloppy seconds and didn't ever give her a child. I'm like, wow, what a fucking hero, bro. I can't ever imagine looking up to that. Like, Dick was funny sometimes. He was pretty chill, and he did help once or twice, but he's definitely not a fucking idol. He's not a hero. Supreme Me for 5 says, I'm going to enjoy watching Rekida's grifting career implode one day. Only a matter of time before he has a scandal. That's the thing with people who take on feuds with the Kiwi Farms, is that the Kiwi Farms has been around for a very long time, and many people who have wanted us to shut down are no longer with us. And you just gotta wait. ECB 42305 for 5 says, you make me laugh the hardest of any podcast. You bring joy while I work. I feel it's necessary to give me $5 despite Baldo Gaggins. Baldo Gaggins, gross. I need to get rid of that yee ass haircut. Dude, he looks so bad. I didn't want to just get like personal, just about like physical appearance, but he looks so fucking bad. Like in that video where he's like trying to like shit on me for being sued for like something I'm well within my right to host. He looks fucking greasy as shit. He's like bright red and he just looks fucking nasty. Look at that. Look at that guy. What's wrong with him? What happened to him? What the fuck is wrong with him? It's crazy. I'm glad you liked the podcast, though. It's all about trying to make people wrath. ECB 42305 says another $5 to call him a white bread ass cuck who buddies up with socioeconomic groomers and proclaimed PDF files. Don't even get me fucking started on the veto shit, man. I just don't get it. I just do not understand the whole obsession with trying to be friends with them. Like surely there are better people to buddy up with. But no, 40-year-olds who sit around in bikinis and look like they shit themselves. And Vito and Dick Masterson, those are the people. That's the way forward. Foxes for 10. By the way, in chat, I'm gonna read the responses when I switch over to Odyssey. What is his opinion on Legal Eagle? Because I keep getting suggested Legal Eagle videos, and I find that they're a little bit biased, but they're pretty good. I'm gonna take a guess and just assume that Ricardo fucking hates Legal Eagle for some contrived reason that may or may not be that he's very successful. Foxes for 10 says, quote, everywhere I go smells like dog shit. Why do I smell dog shit everywhere I go? Doesn't check their shoes. I have no idea what that is a reference to. I'm going to assume it's a thing in support of me, as all things are. Oh, you mean Ricardo, probably. The fact that people continually turn on him because he just shits on everybody. Well, I don't like drama streams, but then I stream continuously about drama. Person's account for 10 says Tuesday streams make the workday tolerable. Thanks, Josh. I'm glad that you can get through the day and then give me a cut, give me a stipend of your paycheck. He hates him. He despises him. Ricardo hates Legal Eagle. He's always hated him and called him retarded. He used to make fun of Legal Eagle, rightfully so. He's a total retard. He's just a fancier Jewish lawyer. The only thing that annoys me about Legal Eagle is that he and this is going to sound silly coming from me, but he does pre-recorded videos and he has a very poor sense of elocution. He'll like slur words together on accident, and he often speaks in like the same kind of like sing-songy way where he goes, that's how Donald Trump did that and it was a bad thing. Oh. Like he does like the same, and then he'll do that same kind of inflection like 4 different times. It's just like, you gotta sound more natural. You have to speak clearer, which again is glass houses and shit. But yeah, glass houses for real. But it's very noticeable. Like you listen to him talk for a while, and you're like, you could do better. I'll phrase it charitably. I know you could do better, my boy. The Lonely Wendigo for 5 says, Kantaro. Oh, you can super chat emojis. Fascinating. Thank you. I'm gonna have to make it so that subscribers show up in the thing too. I don't have that configured yet, but I'll have, because you can become a subscriber on Kick now. So that's like 3 different platforms that you can subscribe on. I'm gonna have to integrate that to the heads up display. Hyper Ninja for 5 says, have some juice. Try not to eliminate it all in one place. Ooh, dude, I need to try mangosteen juice. After the low-tax stream, I've been thinking about it. I've been looking at how to get it where I'm at, and it's like $100 for like a bottle of mangosteen juice. But I'm desperate. I want to try the mangosteen juice, chat. I was thinking that maybe I would do that for my, like, I haven't posted a picture of myself in a long time, but I was really, really tempted to dress up as low-tax and get a bottle of mangosteen juice and post a picture like that. But that would be tempting fate too much, I think, chat. But I do want to try the mangosteen juice. And who knows, maybe I'll get an affiliate link and I'll post about it and say, hey guys, try my mangosteen juice. I have to fund a lawsuit. Space Allen for 20 says, hang in there, man. I'm trying my best. Obviously I'm not 100% satisfied because there are issues to be dealt with, but I'm pretty confident in the direction we're going right now. I think that there's some hiccups, but generally everything is progressing pretty well. Insensitive for 10 says, what's the too long didn't read on Greer? I read the OP from his story, but I don't think I picked up on enough lore. His lore is really simple. He was adopted. He has a facial paralysis issue that gives him kind of like a weird look. But I mean, as ugly as that condition makes him look, he's genuinely a really nasty guy. He's extremely abrasive. He tries to, he's been convicted of stalking. He has a sense of entitlement, and he has a sense of like control. He has to control people, and he's just genuinely a really nasty guy, which is why people make fun of him. The things, like, as you know, fun as it is to make fun of his face, the issue with him is inside. Not to sound corny or anything, but he's just genuinely a really fucking nasty person. Foxes for 5 says, where is my BMW door alert Jersh? That was like inside of a video. Oh, someone like paid me to play a clip, and then you immediately recognize the sound, and now you're trying to make it like a meme. I don't understand you. Smith 13 for 3 says, you thought Eric July getting a lawsuit. Dude, it's such bullshit. There's no brand confusion between the international like systems of ministries and ISOM the comic. It's just bullshit. It's so fucking obviously spurred on by Dick, and the fact that he denies it, so like, no, really, there is brand confusion. It really makes my fucking skin crawl, and I really hope to see the day where these bad people have bad things happen to them. Twinkle Tart for $100 says pizza day, and then links to a Kiwi Farms attachment. Oh, geez. It appears to be a man in a GIMP suit with the Rekieta Law logo on top of him. And if my memory serves me, this is the GIMP from Pulp Fiction, one of my favorite movies. Bring out the GIMP. The GIMP's sleeping. Wake him up, then. It's an exact quote from that movie. That scene is a real brilliance. Real brilliance, like Quentin Tarantino. Lost my. Oh, there it is. Action Johnny for 5. Thank you very much, by the way. Action Johnny for 5 says, hope see have Kiwi Farms for 1 million years. Me too, buddy. Me too. I hope that the Kiwi Farms continues to. I swear, I promise you, if I ever make enough money, I will literally take all the contents of the Kiwi Farms, etch it onto a platinum vinyl record, and launch it into space. The little transmitter so that the aliens can find it and laugh at retards too. Doc's Found for 5 says, is the Hold It Together shirt the only one that will be sold? I saw other designs I liked better a few days ago, but they were out of stock and now they aren't showing up at the store. I do not rerun designs. Those are all old designs. I have reran one design one time, but like the printing costs are just, I can't do it. I can't do multiple designs on multiple colors because every time I add a permutation to the mix, it complicates shipping, it complicates printing, it reduces margins, and it defeats the purpose to have it so complicated. So no, I do one design at a time. Depending on how the Greer stuff goes, I might do like a Christmas. I don't know when the appropriate time to do it is. I could do it in January or something, or around Christmas. But I like the idea of war bonds where I do like an old like. Let me try to find out like an example of what I'm talking about. There are these really cool World War II bonds I'm a big fan of, like this. And I was thinking, like, if I did something like this, I could, raise money with it and then actually mail people like some kind of firm postcard that looks like this with references to the Kiwi Farms. And then for the big ones, I actually have a wax seal, and I could like physically sign and seal some of these things so that people who donate like a lot of money have something that's a little cooler and more personalized. So this is my war bond idea for the lawsuits. I'd have to figure out a way logistically to do it though. I've never done prints, and so I'd have to look at it. It'd be fun to help with design. Yeah, I don't know how I would even. It's called like security printing. Like this pattern on the edge is like a security pattern that makes it harder to forge. So I really don't know how I would even ask people to try and make like a security pattern. That's like a really complicated ask. But yeah, that's my idea for like crowdfunding lawsuit stuff. Right now, the shirt is what I'm selling, and it should be enough for a while. Because the thing is, it's like, you start talking about like $30,000 to like fund a defense. That's not all at once. You do payment plans, and like I said, it takes like 3 years to get around to stuff. So it sounds like a crushing number where it's like, oh my God, all hands on deck. We have to, raise X amount of dollars to fund all this right now. But the reality is a little bit more lenient, where you're basically paying off a car. as crushing as that sounds, it's like it's not like if you don't have $30,000 cash on hand, you're just fucking dead in the water. If it ever gets down to something like that, I'll let people know. I'm not too worried about it. I am, if anything, I'm very good at finances. I've managed, there were times in my life where I had literally no money. I had just moved to Ukraine. I was taking like weird contracts to try and make money, and I still somehow managed to keep everything chugging along. So I will That is something I inherited from my mother. My mother is very money sound, very educated on finances, and I just by because we would literally listen when we did car trips together, and I was a little kid. She would put like Dave Ramsey, like book on tape, like back in the day. She would have like cassette tapes of Dave Ramsey's financial advice, and she would put the cassette tape into the radio, and we would listen to books on tape of like Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey and people like that. So I've been programmed about through the ether how to manage money just a little bit. I'm only and I do okay with what I have. So she's not Jewish. She just likes money. She's just financially savvy. Okay. Yeah, this is where I got my 5% Ashkenazi. Cole for two says Nick doesn't understand the Christian meaning of love. Love in Christianity is wanting everyone the best they were meant to be and putting in the effort to help them. You think it just means Cole for two having positive feelings and hoping for the best. Left libertarianism, not even one. Dude, I can't even call him a libertarian at this point. I don't know what the fuck. He's just a hedonist. Whatever. I mean, maybe you would say libertarianism, but he doesn't have a political philosophy. He just wants to gratify himself as much as possible all the time. Just like Dick. Internet Fween for one says, why you no read super duper chat? I did. Sorry if I missed it. I'm pretty sure maybe it was before the stream. I might have missed that. Sorry. Here's my thing. If you're going to super chat before the stream starts, please make sure you do it on Odyssey, because the Rumble, if anything happens on my Rumble chat and I have to restart it before the stream starts, I'd lose the pre-stream chats. So the Odyssey ones stick through no matter what. I will mark my fucking words, find a way to get Odyssey super chats to be more permanent. I'm gonna write something eventually to make them better. All else fails for 10 says Dick was a shock jock, but for the internet, the lowercase I internet even. Boobs good, woman bad, contrarian everything. Same shit Opie and Anthony and Stern did. Some fans grew up and away from that. Others become Nick and Riley. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, in my head, and I'm sure he would laugh at this, but I really thought that there would come a point where, because I know that Sean has like a personal life and he doesn't really contribute much to the show except like chiming in every so often, but it would just seem like an obvious progression of the show to like get married and have kids and start talking about kids and how your life is changing. You don't want to be stuck in like the same, like, you know, people watch shows like The Simpsons still that have been running for 34 years and are the same fucking thing over and over again, but you really don't want your life to be stuck in a rerun of like itself forever. Like, yeah, remember when I was 30 and I was like involved with Maddox and I published a book called Men Are Better Than Women? You don't want to be 40 and saying the exact same shit. Like, how fucking depressing. Literally the most soul crushing thing I could possibly fucking imagine. Mario Carter 13 for one says broke. Drexel smashed Nick's wife. Woke. Drexel smashed Nick's V card. Gross. I don't even want to think about that. Drexel's so fucking nasty, man. Insensitive 0 for 5 says, did you catch the bit about one of Dick's pet retards visiting Eric July's, sorry, July. I saw one Chris video, now I'm saying July. Visiting July's dead grandfather's grave and revealing he named his superhero after him. The Isom knew this before going through with the lawsuit. Yeah, he named his book after his grandfather. And then when people found out that he has like a really close relationship with his grandfather, one of the Dick Show people went over to the headstone and it looked like he pissed on it. I think that he mentioned, like he teased that he would shit on it or something. I don't know what the fuck he did. There was like a big wet stain on the headstone that's not present in other photos of it. So he definitely poured something on it. It's just really fucking gross, man. It's really gross that people are like this. And I still don't fucking get it. I understand that Eric July like feeds the trolls just a little bit because he does like instantly give these people attention. And I wish he would fucking starve them out. But even then, it's like nobody on the forum did shit like this to people. And it's not funny is the reason. It's not funny. That's why they didn't do it. Lacune for one says, I don't care that Jews are killing Palestinians so much that they're getting away with it. Well, all things are fair in love and war, right? Walulu for one says, I've given this a lot of thought and I want you to hear with me here, Josh. I think the entire situation I think your entire situation in life could easily be solved by a genuine, honest to God shruning out. I'll go over the pros and cons. 2. Pros. True and Josh is better than emotionally abusive and manipulative, soft-eyed Josh, who somehow manages to lose a public argument about Baldos with Ricada, despite you're the only one talking about it publicly. 3. You no longer be a strain on the forum or society. The charity money you get will actually go to your HRT rather than silver scams, or your outright embarrassing attempt to be a streamer. Depending on the method of churning out, you'll be able to finally harness your faggoty helium voice instead of compensating for it by being toxic. Think of all the rest you'll get by not having to make your own lowercase I internet, since Matthew Prince is now would now pay pig for you, his mommy dommy. 5. Troons don't need working dicks. Wow. Cons. There are none. Don't think this is something I'm casually posting or rejected hastily. I'm willing to work with you on coming to accept what, with any amount of thought, is the obvious solution to your problems. I'm here for you. User was modded for this post. Bravo. Bravissimo. Encore. It's pretty good, actually. Devious Dave for 5 says, something wrong. I hold my head. Muttley gone. Rip nigga dead. Rip Muttley. And then he links to a 10-hour post of a crying Pepe. I will show this briefly. There's Pepe. He's very sad. He's crying. Muttley isn't in the general chat anymore. I don't know why this is now a meme. He's still using the forum. Dante Carptum for 5 says, thank you, Jurish, for doing this needful. You're welcome. Appreciate it. Neighbor for 5 says, most esteemed and venerable Kiwi Daimo, why do abos have 2 different sized nostrils? One is for diesel, the other is for unleaded. That's funny. Thank you. Pastor Troy for 10 says, hey Josh, thanks for the years of entertainment. I really do appreciate it. Here's some money. Think of this not as a donation, but as an investment. I expect a 1,000% or 1,000 times, so 10,000% return on investment. I don't know, man. You maybe should have put that in the S&P 500, because when inflation hits, you might actually get a 10,000% return on investment. Thank you. Finno, Hungarian Imperialist for 5 says, I'm going to guess mushrooms for the eye guy. For some reason, the hallucinations caused by alkaloids like psilocybin cause a lot of self-mutilations. Datura has the same problem, but not as common as a party drug. Finno-Hungarian Imperialist for 15 says, there are pictures of Chris, Finn, and Soda having a day out together. That's how many degrees of separation there are to friends of a friend of a friend. Also, it's not like Soda was just present. He was doing an alt. He was on an alt doing the same. I watched Redacted, lol, just kidding, routine as the clown dude. Yeah. There's no doubt in my fucking mind. You can say, oh, there's a benefit of a doubt, right? Like, nah, bro. Nah, bro. You can wear the fucking wig and trick all the little kids and play games with the Twitch staff, but I fucking know you, bro. I know what you are, man. Mongrel for 5 says, hey Josh, I got married last Friday, but I have just found out during our honeymoon that my wife loves cilantro. What should I do? Throw out the fucking window with the rest of her disgusting cilantro. But congratulations. It is nice that you're going to have hopefully white babies. However, it's very sad that they will be cilantro enjoyers. Like a 50-50 chance that they're cilantro enjoyers. Fucking disgusting. 1 drop of cilantro blood is all it takes, my man. Neighbor for 5 says, most esteemed and venerable Kiwi Daimo, humana, and then he links to a Catbox file. Which, I mean, I don't know what you're lusting over. This appears to be Hila Klein in an IDF uniform. And much like when she killed those Palestinian children, allegedly, she has her finger on the trigger, which is not humana at all. It's called trigger discipline, chat. Trigger discipline. James Boone for 5 says, Josh, I did the math on science. A drop of whiskey from a 700 milliliter bottle priced at $200 is 2 cents. Nick is an alcoholic. No, bro, you don't understand. If you don't desperately tongue bathe your alcohol bottle after you pour yourself a drink, it'll have a little oopsie whoopsie and make a little wingy wingy on the ground. Now, you could easily just use a coaster or something so that it doesn't get on the table. But tongue bathing it, I guess, is more phallic and enjoyable for a hedonism enjoyer. Dante Carptum for 10 says, sad to see Nick is a duplicitous faggot. It's a shame I once liked him. Yeah, me too, buddy. Join the club. Thank you. Dot for 25 says, Dear Josh, I'm currently traveling around Japan. Do you have any tips on not to catch libertarianism? Thanks, G. I mean, Asian women pretty much do that by themselves. I mean, when I was in Japan, I went to Sapporo. Was very nice, like unironically. It was very Japanesey feeling. I went there with Frederick to a big like duty-free tech store and bought like a 4K monitor. I went to a zoo and stuff. It was nice. It's nice to visit. I was out there at Christmas time and it snowed during Christmas, so I had a white Christmas in Japan and ate nice. It was genuinely an excellent vacation. I had a lot of fun. I missed the 8chan guys, to be honest with you. It's one of the many incidents in my life where it's like, things really could have turned out better if I wasn't surrounded by the kind of people that I end up surrounded by. Maybe it's a me problem, chat. Nah, couldn't be. Finno-Hungarian imperialist for 5 says, my wife is not an atomized individualistic retard who hates her parents. Ah, yes, the libertarian dilemma. Dude. Yeah, I had to go to a third world country. Notice that when libertarian types go to get their wife, where do they go? Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam. You know what those countries have in common? They're poor. They don't go to Japan. They don't go to, or in China, they don't go to Korea. You know why? Because they have a standard of living there already. They don't have to hook up with the white man to get money. They can just marry Koreans and Japanese people. It's funny how they have to go to the poor countries. James Boone for 5 says, happy National Possum Day. Oh, happy Possum Day to you too, my friend. I hope all the possums are having a nice day. Sock Puppet Sam for 21 says, hey Josh, please describe this video for me, for the people in the RSS feed. Thank you. This is a minute long. I'll narrate this until it becomes boring to me. Opening it up, it looks like there is a man hugging a pony doll. There are holes in his drywall, and there's a cutout poster of Princess Leia holding a laser pistol in the corner, which is kind of menacing it, because when you see it at first, it's kind of like scary, because it's like she's about to shoot him in the back of the head, which is a fate that he could only hope for at this point, I imagine.
I knew that. Why isn't that you? Everybody was not a true friend to me. They didn't want to be my true friend and help me out when I needed that problem. When I needed it. That's it. You all think that a true friend leaves somebody when they're in pain and leaves them when they're in need and leaves them around.
This guy's extremely
I helped out
autistic.
so many people when you needed help.
He's got long hair and glasses with no rim.
And this is how I get
He
repaid.
can't make eye contact with the webcam.
Oh, I am like so close to being homeless now. You don't even freaking understand. You don't understand anymore.
Probably because you punch holes in the wall.
A friend will be there to help you see. You see yourself.
He's now injuring himself with a glass bottle.
Yes, this is what you've done to me. This is what you've wrought. This is what you've wrought.
Someone give him a chance sponsorship, chat says.
You goddamn assholes. You goddamn cunts. You goddamn faggots.
He's now pouting super hard.
For this.
I get the sense that he's acting. This probably works on his mother. Like, he's trying to express how frustrated he is, and he's doing things that have gotten him attention before. He's not like actually injuring himself. He's just kind of like hurting himself vaguely and trying to act up. Like, he's acting like in a way that he's seen characters in movies act, because he's like heavily autistic. It's kind of pathetic, to be honest. Thank you. Sneeds for 20 says absolutely nothing. Well, that's how you do a $20 super chat. What a hero. Haxley for 5 says something. Oh, wow. That's a change of pace. I don't know how to respond to that. I've been caught off guard by Haxley for 5 saying something. Thank you. Kyle Larson all chat for 5 says hogwash. He won't step out without his goons. Swashbuckle. They done let the Jew out on the canoe. I'm in a suit and tie. She tearing up my suit. Tiramisu. Oh, these are lyrics from the very, very, very awful fucking MC Kosher Jew rap songs, which suck. Thank you. Dante Carptum for 5 says, Nick once criticized Legal Eagle for not actually practicing law, like Nick does. Yeah, glass houses. Let me check Rumble real quick. Well, there are somewhere. Okay. Hamtaro for 10 says the Free Palestine protests in Western Europe are turning into full-blown Muslim riots with Muslim black reaching 20% of the population now. What a time to be alive. Yeah, well, I hope it results in something favorable to me as opposed to not favorable to me, because I am having many things not favorable to me, and I prefer a win for once. Thank you. Blind Oracle for 50 says, shameful to see Ricado like this overexposure of the internet, spelled properly. Seems like it really breaks the mentals. Nah, dude, it ain't the fucking internet that did that to Ricado. It's something else. I guess he leaned into the alcoholism bit a little bit too hard. Amtero for says, for the low tax stream, it was Kino. Thanks. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Thank you very much. And on that note, I believe... Oh, someone pointed out in chat, that Sven Stoffels, the guy that did the lovely Hilla animation, is trying to crowdfund his own comic called Butch Killigan, a mind-altering comic book experience. Brace yourself for fast-paced, action-packed cyberpunk comedy adventure. I don't know anything about comics. I would be appears there is a pregnant woman is one of the characters. But I wish Sven luck with his Butch Killigan comic book because he's pretty funny. He's a pretty funny guy. Comedy. Yeah, I know all the dude, I should do my own comic. I'm telling you. Episode 1 would be about Juju the cow going to save all the children, and then the twist would be at the end that he just wants to sacrifice them to Moloch, and then like the final page is just him and 80s girl like making out covered in blood. And it would be like really unflattering. Like his ass would be all like pockmarked and her tits would be like sagging really low. And it would just be like this really awful, grisly, like blood, like sanguinistic end scene. That's like oh, he's saving the children. And then like the cutie squad is giving him directions how to save the children. And then like 2 can be something about, I have it all in my head. I'm going to do my comic book series to finance my lawsuits. I'm going to become a young black entrepreneur with my Kiwi squad comics. Okay. Okie dokie, artichoke. I think that's all. One last check just in case. All right, I will see you guys on Friday. Take it easy. Until then, bye-bye. Where's my music at? Let me. How do I do these? Oh, that's right. Okay, I go to the background. I remove the colors, and then I find the song. Then I play it, and then I say bye-bye.
Don't tell the boys that you've been crying in my arms. Yeah, I believe it's sharing season for the feelings in our hearts. Come on now. Sign the dotted line, go ahead and join my little cult. people talk. You know, in tougher times, just guys decide we'd rather walk the walk. I'll always be your engineer. I'll be your elephant best friend. Don't tell the boys we got each other, and I'll love you till the end. Don't tell the boys.